You're witnessing the 31st live coverage and watch along on the English Corner podcast. You already know who it is. It's your host, the legend Todd Finney himself. Y'all know what the slogan is, no BS boxing. As usual, I got my boxing nephew and co-host rocking with me, Chris G. What's good? What's good?
I'm just happy to be here to talk this boxing, man.
Facts. We are covering Zhilei Zhang versus Joyce, the rematch. This fight is in Wembley Arena in the United Kingdom. Chris was good, man. How was your day?
It was good, man. It was good. A lot of work, but now I'm about to see my guy Zhang win, man.
We'll see. We'll see. I think he'll pull it off, but both guys are coming in a lot heavier. Joyce 25 pounds
I'm gonna
heavier.
be in my opinion on that, I don't think Zhang should have came in heavier because he doesn't have the best stamina. So I think he should have been how he was before or a little lighter. I don't think he should have been. I don't think he should have came in heavier. As for Joyce, he usually performs better at a heavier weight, so it was good for Joyce, in my opinion.
All right. Both guys are face to face, looking serious. What's going on your end?
Face to face, they just touch gloves.
All right, that's what's up. So it looks like we're about the same.
Yep, about even, right?
But both guys are big. Both of them about the same height. So I'm expecting the war. Here we go.
Zhang just came right at him. I think Zhilei Zhang is a little bit taller, slightly taller.
Okay. Like when they fought the first time, I actually thought, Zhang was a lot shorter, but I didn't know that he was really this big though.
Yeah, he's 6'6". He might be 6'6.5", maybe even 6'7". And then
Wow.
Joyce is 6'6".
Wow.
It looks like Joyce is moving to his left. He's trying to stay away from that right hand.
Yeah, he's keeping his distance.
So it looks like he made adjustments already.
Yeah, that's what he needed. He needed to make adjustments, from the first one. You saw the first one, right?
Yeah. I watched it live when it was happening.
Oh, yeah, I missed the first one. So, I'm happy to cover it this time.
Joyce is moving nicely.
Yeah, he is. Did you ever see that video where he was like training and he was doing like this dance that he does? He was moving good to be a big guy, though.
Yeah, he looks good right now, man.
Yeah.
So doesn't look quite slow motion right now.
Nah. Nice body shot landed by Zhang. It's like Joyce tried to land a shot to the body.
Yeah, Joyce landed a good little shot there. They're both trying to feel each other out right now.
Yeah. I was very impressed with Joyce that he was the first one to stop, Joseph Parker.
But oh yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy knockdown.
Facts.
Joyce moving his head a little bit nicely.
Yeah, both guys, threw shots to the body.
Do you know the odds for this fight?
I just know that Joyce was an underdog, and everybody had, Zhang winning, but I don't know what the numbers were though.
I'm gonna double check on that. It looks like Zhang is the very slight betting favorite to win.
All right.
Before it was like Joyce was like the huge favorite. The first fight.
All right. Scotty 70 in the building. He says, looking forward to this one. Appreciate you having you in, man. Appreciate it. Salute to Scotty 70.
Bro, Joyce's eye is all scarred up, dude.
Are you serious?
No, I mean like not in the fight, but in the little interview that I'm watching right now that they have.
Oh, okay. Scotty, he says Zhang is minus 120. Okay, appreciate that. Appreciate that. And Zhang doesn't sit. He doesn't sit down in the corners in between rounds.
Although
Or
some
is that
fighters
just
actually do
something?
that. You know what? When I used to do martial arts and exercise and stuff, if I sat down, it would make me more tired. So I understand how they feel a little bit. Like if I was a boxer, I'd probably not sit down.
You know, George Foreman did that a lot in his career.
So it's kind of like it kind of slows you down a little bit. Just from my experience, I feel like it slows you down a little bit when you sit down.
Okay. Scotty 70 says round one to Joyce. Okay, yeah, it
Yeah,
did. It
yeah,
looked
it
like
looked
his
like
eye had
Joyce.
some puffy.
Yeah, yeah, Joyce, yeah, look good.
Mm.
They both landed little shots here and there.
Yeah.
They're both trying to counterpunch each other. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. Looks like Zhang landed a shot, but it looked like it was just a little bit too low. Nice jab by Joyce. Another nice shot
Nice
landed to the body. Yeah, by
by Zhang.
Zhang. Yeah.
So, ooh.
Nice two-piece landed by Zhang.
So I think the judges are gonna favor Joyce in every close round. So we just have to keep that in mind if it goes the distance. Because the first fight, Zhang won almost every round, yet one of the judges had him losing.
I'm just worried that if it goes into the later rounds, man, like Zhang just don't have
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
worried. Wow.
oh,
Uh-oh.
oh!
Uh-oh.
He
Zhang
caught
coming
he caught
on.
he caught Joyce right there, really bad.
Yep. I think he could have pressed harder. Uh-oh.
Oh, careful, Joyce.
Yeah. So so far, round two is definitely going to Zhang for the work he just did.
Oh, nice little work from Joyce.
Nice body shot landed by Joyce. You know, if Zhang wins, man, like if he takes on like the likes of Fury.
Oh, oh,
Uh-oh. Wow.
oh, oh!
Wow. Nice
Good stuff,
combination landed by
Zhang. Good
Zhang.
stuff from Zhang. Good stuff from Zhang.
Facts. Yeah.
That was an easy Zhang round, man.
Facts. About 2 times in that round, he landed some nice combinations.
Well, I think it seems like Joyce is getting bothered by like any of the clean punches landed. Oh, oh, that was good. Sorry, I didn't mean to be loud. Sorry, my bad.
You're good. I don't think he can react to shots well, man. He
like,
looks like he's going. It looked like he was going to go down just a little bit.
dude, man, I'm a big fan of Zhang, dude. I've been a big fan of Zhang for a couple of years now, so I'm really happy to see this.
Facts. Yeah, you're right about his eye, man. His eye just looks like it's puffy or it's a little bit of swelling.
Is Joyce's nose at the bridge is kind of messed up a little bit. I just feel like I have to take breaths for these boxers sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes like when fights get started, My heart races. Let me get Wilton in here.
I feel that, man. I feel that.
My guy Wilton Henry in the building. What's good? What's good?
What's going on, fellas? Y'all doing all right?
Very good. How about you, sir?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm seeing this Picasso performance my boy Joyce putting on right now. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He painting the perfect picture right now. That's what I like to see.
Yeah. It's one round apiece right now.
I agree. But I like the thing is that what he was doing the first round, I like the boxing that he was doing, that like the head movement. But the second round, you gotta let Zhang, exert some energy. So you can get tired. You know what I'm saying? It's just he has to be able to, withstand some of that barrage that's gonna come his way.
I think Zhang is like a 6-7 round fighter. After 6-7 rounds, I think he gets really, really tired.
That's what I'm saying. Joe just can't take like a lot more of what he took in that last round. But it's gonna be some rocky moments for him though.
I agree.
Is Joyce bleeding on the back of his head? Sorry.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I noticed that too. It look like it's done from his braids or something.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah, I like the fact that he's a little bigger too. You know what I'm saying? He got a little bit more pop on his punches. Last fight, he was hitting Zhang and he wasn't doing anything to him. It seemed like he looked a little weak. But he got his power now.
Yeah, that was the lightest Joyce ever was his last fight.
Yeah,
I think that was a mistake.
Big mistake.
Ooh.
Wait, hold on now. Ooh.
You know, that worked with Ferry in the second Wilder fight. Ooh, big shot landed by Zhang. Another nice combination.
What? How many? Where are you in the fight? I know it's
we're in the last minute of the third round.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm about the same minute and 5 seconds in round 3.
I'm gonna have to go ahead. I got one TV on Oregon whooping the hell out of Colorado, and then I got this fight on as well.
So you're watching the other cards?
You said the other cards?
Yeah, there's another. Is there another card on? I'm not aware of one.
It's college football.
Oh.
Yeah, let me get that up out of there.
Nice body shot from Joyce.
Damn, Joe.
Well, did you see that Anthony Yard had a second round stoppage? I missed it.
Man, he so this way to me, Yard, he fight a bunch of UK like.
Oh
no! Don't tell me Joe out of there.
Fight's over.
Oh, you gonna knock Joe out?
Let me see what happens. Oh man!
You got Joe up out of there?
I'll let you say it was bad, man. Oh man. That was bad.
So Joe, yeah, I can't imagine Joe knocking out Zhang. So it gotta be.
This was even
faster.
Did
they stopped it early or nah?
It's the third round?
Yep.
Oh, never mind. That was like a perfect punch.
Yeah. Wow.
Joe done, huh?
I sent.
Oh no, Joe. He went to sleep for a second too. He's on there.
Yeah, he fell face down.
Oh, I'm a big fan of Zhang for maybe about 1.5 years, 2 years now, and I'm happy for him.
My buddy Katrina in the building. Who shout out to Katrina? She said Joyce is done, and I'm sad to see it. You know, I missed the first fight, but you know, I mean, I'm sad to see it. You know, twice back to back like that. So. Chinese
power.
Well, only thing is, you know, it's gonna be the opposite of what happened when Spence get his hands on Crawford. You understand what I'm saying? Oh man, no, that was. I know early it was gonna be all Zhang. I just thought that Joe.
Honestly, I thought it was gonna go more rounds. I thought Zhang was gonna get the stoppage, but I didn't think it was gonna be this early.
I was just hoping Joe just capitalized on what he needed to capitalize off on the first fight.
So if if it went like 7, 8, 9 rounds, I would have said probably I would have thought Joe Joyce had more gas in his tank.
Yeah, that's what I was banking on. I didn't know how much damage was done because he had that titanium chin initially, but John kind of broke him down last fight where he hurt him. I know that second round he had Joe hurt more than I ever seen him hurt ever.
Dude, that was that was like they keep saying it's a textbook right hand. It really was.
And it's the right because you would think that Zhang is going to catch him with the left. And he caught him slipping. You know what I'm saying? That's perfect, man. He's gonna be tough. Anybody he fight in the heavyweight division, especially the first.
He's got one loss. He's got one loss. Zhilei Zhang has one loss, in which I thought he actually won that fight against Hrgović.
Yeah, but that one fight that he had
against Jerry Forrest, he almost died in that fight. Actually, he actually had kidney failure in that fight.
Yeah, he's dehydrated.
Yeah. Apparently, he drinks like a bunch of gallons of water now.
Yeah, that's what I hear. He still gets fatigued. He still gets tired at the end of fights.
Yeah, I would say he gasses out by between 6 and 8.
About 6 and 8, yeah, and sometimes even before that.
Yeah,
but about 5 to 7, he can mask it a little bit, but after that, he's pretty much done. So, and then I've never seen him fight somebody like when I've been checking out Zhang fight. I've never seen him fight anyone where he didn't hurt him early in the fight. Like everybody he faced, he either drops him, hurts.
Even when he fought Jerry Forrest, he knocked him down like 3-4 times, like the first 4 or 5 rounds.
Everybody, man. Like everybody he fights, he's very dangerous early.
Yeah, but what does his age concern you?
No, not really.
It only against the upper echelon guys like Fury, Usyk. Like I just think they're gonna buy their time until what we talking about, him getting fatigued, and then they're gonna put that onslaught on him because they just consummate professionals. They know they have game plans and things like that, and they can execute the game plan. Joyce, I'm sure that because he looked like that's what he's trying to do, like moving his head and stuff like that. Yeah. But that's not typically what he does. He's not really natural at doing that. And so once he got tagged a little bit, he started resorting back to basically who Joyce is.
Yeah, Scotty 70. He says Zhilei Zhang's at the top. Yeah, he did his thing.
But check this out, ZZ Top. You know what? See, the thing is, like some of these guys be like they one trick ponies. They keep fighting the same type of guys. Like what's gonna fight tonight? I think Frank Sanchez. Like Frank Sanchez can beat these dudes. I just don't know why he keep fighting the same caliber guys that he keep facing. You know what I mean? Because he might be a little too fast for Zhang. And he got that Cuban pedigree. What do you think about this, though? Yeah, see this. It might be too soon, though. It might be too soon.
Yeah, I think he's. I mean, he beat Effie, and like Effie.
That wasn't the question, though. The question is this, because I think that Sanchez can beat him, but he's dangerous. My question is, Big Baby. What do you think about him and Big Baby? Is that too soon for Big Baby?
Well, I actually think I just because of what I saw from Big Baby and Charles Martin, and I think Zhang is way better than Charles Martin and
left hand too, yeah.
And then what's his name? He's left-handed, and then Big Baby was endangered 2 or 3 times in that fight.
Mm-hmm. So
I actually think Zhang would probably be the slight favorite in that fight.
What about you, Ty?
Yeah, I think it's a good fight. And Zhang, they need to move Zhang. They got to move him fast. He's already 40. So yeah, I would definitely like to see the fight.
But I don't think Zhang would go down because I think Joyce is I guess technically a higher caliber than Big Baby. Big Baby is still kind of like a prospect still.
No, but Zhang should be looking for a title shot. Like this was like an eliminator type thing.
Yeah. So he's the mandatory now for Usyk's titles.
Yeah, he damn that should be across the board though. You know what I'm saying? Because he did beat Hrgović. I know they didn't give it to him, but I'm just saying.
But yeah, so he should really have Hrgović and Joe Joyce twice on his on his resume like as wins.
Let me see. Let me look at the heavyweight landscape.
You
It just depends on who he faces. Like Andy Ruiz, you know.
Well, I think he beats Andy Ruiz, to be honest.
Yeah, Andy Ruiz is available. You know, him and
Andy
Riley.
Ruiz almost lost to Luis Ortiz. The only reason why he won is because he got 3 knockdowns, and with the 3 knockdowns, he almost didn't even win the fight. He actually was was up by 1 point on all the scorecards, and with 3 knockdowns.
Yeah. Only thing though, it's just I think that after the Wilder fights, Ortiz, his punch resistance isn't like it was before. But he's still a bad boy, but he just can't really take a punch.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he was outboxing Ruiz almost every single round of that fight. But yeah, I agree. His punch resistance is definitely less than before.
Yeah, he was dropped by Wilder both fights, dropped by Charles Martin early.
But what he did to Charles Martin was hilarious, though.
When he was talking to somebody in the stands.
Yeah.
He was just like looking somewhere else, dude.
But that's why I was surprised. You know, Charles Martin, he showed his toughness against Big Baby, though.
Baby, yeah.
Yeah. I was impressed.
He still had a lot in him, to be honest. I was really he showed up really. I mean, like he did a good showing.
Yeah. I can't hear it because my stream is in Spanish, so I don't know what. And then Jelly talking Chinese, so I don't know what the hell he's saying right now.
You got it up, Chris. Is he calling anybody out or anything?
I'm looking at this. I don't think he called anyone out. He's just saying, I hope everybody enjoyed my performance.
Oh yeah, man, that's big time.
I'm kind of glad he got him out there early because, like, I just felt like if it got into the later rounds, he would definitely got fatigued. But he did his thing again.
Did what he had to do. Big Jelly.
Then we got Zepeda.
And Zhang has really fast hand speed, too. He's got pretty good hand speed.
Man, man, I wouldn't want to. If I don't have to fight Zhilei Zhang, I'm not fooling with that man. Because he lefty, he got a little know-how. Like you say, he's kind of quick with his punches.
He's proved that age is just a number, man.
That's true.
He's 40 years old, and he's at the top. He's at the top half of the heavyweight game.
So I'm just trying to figure out, like, where has he been, though? You know what I'm saying? We just seen Jelly the last maybe 2-3 years since
he's had. I think he had promotional issues, and they had a hard time getting him on the bigger stage. And I guess his maybe earlier fights he didn't look so great. I guess until they started getting him on the zone, he was like knocking people out cold on the zone. And then they kept giving him fights, and then he had that Jerry Forrest scare, and then he was back on the knockout streak again after that.
Next week is a biggie, man. Who you like in the fights, man? You like Canelo, Charlo, you got Lubin, you know what I'm saying, Ramos.
Ramos, I think Ramos should win that fight, but Lubin is game and relatively dangerous. Lubin is coming off a really big win. He just knocked out a guy who has never been stopped before. Every other top contender had struggled with this guy, and Lubin got him out of there pretty easily. And so Lubin's coming off a really great win. So Lubin is going to be game, and I don't think he's lost his step, to be honest.
Yeah, I think Lubin he's a great fighter, but I got Ramos. And as far as the main event, man, I'm going with Canelo by decision, but I just hope that we see a Charlo that we never seen. Like, he's only going to get one shot at this. He's the guy that makes the adjustments in the rematch, but this might be a one shot thing. So I just hope he coming there on his A game, but I got Canelo by decision.
So I think Canelo's likely to win that fight by decision. I think his punches are a lot faster than I think he can time Charlo fairly easily because I think Charlo kind of wings his punches a little bit. Even this kind of slightly declining Canelo, but Canelo's had he wasn't 100% his last couple of fights, but he said he feels 100% for this fight. If we're going to take any of those words seriously, he said his hand was still slightly hurt in the John Ryder fight and then the previous fight before that. So he's saying now he can throw his right hand with I guess maximum efficiency. So if he's better, if he comes out better than the last two fights, then he should win the fight.
I think Canelo should just win, period. You know what I'm saying? I think Canelo is better than Charlo. I've seen Canelo perform at the higher level against stiffer opposition on a consistent basis. I've seen Charlo beat guys. I'm not saying I like Charlo. Like I love who he is as a fighter. You know what I'm saying? He has like him, David Benavidez, they made it the right stuff. You know what I'm saying? But when I look, like 154, I think has a lot of guys who are equally talented. And he's slightly above those guys. So it makes it appear that he is I never saw those guys as like top pound for pound caliber type guys. Like 147 had some dudes who was like pound for pound, type caliber opponents. He fought some really good dudes and he beat pretty much all of the guys that win his belts and things like that. So that I admire about him. And like I admire his mentality as a fighter. He always he like I say, he's made of that stuff where you talk stuff to him, he's gonna be barking back. He's always angry, he's always upset, he always wants to, compete. And so I like that. But Canelo to me seems to be more of like a sharpshooter, more of like this. I see the skills with Canelo, like some of the stuff he sets you up to do. Charlo a little bit too, like how he got Lubin, you know what I'm saying? He caught him with that unique type punch that he caught him with. Like that's something that takes skills to be able to do that. But on a consistent basis against upper echelon guys, I just seen Canelo do that way more often. And I think that's what's going to separate him that's going to be the separation between him and Charlo.
Yeah, good assessment.
I agree with the sharpshooter. I just think Canelo's more like snap. I guess he's really sharp with his punches, a lot more sharper than I think Charlo, and he has fought the better opposition. But I'll give Charlo credit to Charlo. I think I thought Brian Castano. I've been following Brian Castano for a while before he fought Charlo, and he actually had a pretty good resume going into that fight. Like he had beaten a lot of top contenders. He had a lot of top contenders in his resume prior to fighting Charlo. So I give him a lot of credit for beating Brian Castano. And I think Brian Castano was probably the best guy out of all the guys he fought because Brian Castano had never been knocked out before and he was undefeated. So I think Brian Castano was definitely the best guy that he fought, and he had a pretty high quality resume going into that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, Castano hasn't fought since.
Yeah, I don't know why, man. It's like he's really good. I don't know why I wonder if he's just chilling. He's happy with the payday.
Let me run through these. Scotty70 says, was it Vada testing for this fight? I don't know.
Honestly, well, you already know how I feel about the whole testing thing. The whole testing thing is kind of a sham altogether. But I don't know. I think Canelo's in Vada, I believe. I'm not sure about Charlo. I'm not sure if Charlo's registered in that, but I'm pretty sure both of them are registered in that.
I don't know if he was talking about. Was he talking about Charlo and Canelo? Or was he talking about Joyce and Zhāng? Honestly, don't know. So.
He asked that question 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, they showing the replay. He says Zhilei Zhang is the biggest puncher in boxing from what I just witnessed.
I think Wilder still has that crown, to be honest.
Yeah, facts. Wilder got that one punch. That one punch hit a quitter, man. Oh, that was bad, man. Just showed it again. He fell forward.
Bro, that's honestly the worst way to get knocked out is you fall forward, bro. That's like you're not coming. I think that's why they stopped it, because he fell forward. Bro, from when the second round, you could tell every punch, any little punch Zhang would land, it would bother Joyce.
Yeah. That was easy work, man. That was an easy night's work.
Yeah, Joyce had a little success first round, but after that, it was.
I was about to when the round was about to end. I thought I was gonna score that round for Zhang again, and then he did the fight-ending punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what, man? You looks like this Crawford and Spence situation's getting messy,
Yeah,
man.
Crawford
Like
over
this.
there doing that Crawford nonsense, man.
No.
It's the nonsense he be on. Everybody know that. Spencer's a stand-up guy, trying to get the fight, at 154, like Crawford said that he would. Now Crawford is reneging as a Crawford do, man. Crawford be on that nonsense.
I think the fight should happen at 154, but here's the thing: I don't think it'll make a difference because Crawford is struggling to make 147 as well, so he'll actually be more comfortable at 154. So I think that they both will go up a level going to 154. The Crawford will have to, because if you watch the interviews with Crawford before the fight, he was sweating profusely in an AC room. Like Crawford was sweating bad, just by talking to people. And and he even admitted multiple times he's not that comfortable at 147 anymore.
So why they even suggest 147? I'm gonna tell you why they suggest him.
Because
he know that he doesn't struggle as much as Spence, and that's the advantage that he's looking for.
That's I guess you can make that case, but if it was at 154, I still think it would be. I think it would be the same exact results.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not, because he done Joyced him. Like the first fight, he got him. Like, so here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
They milked the fight out. This is Wilton Henry's. This is my point of view. This has no bearing on last ones at the bar. This is my thoughts and interpretation of what happened in the Errol Spence and Bud, weak-minded Crawford. So this is what Bud did. He played it out as long as he could. So he knew. And he's strategic. He's a mastermind. I'm not saying he's not the best fighter in the world. I'm not saying he's not the number one pound for pound fighter. I give him all of those type of things. But I think he's the weakest number one pound for pound fighter I've ever seen. And this is why. So when he was about to fight Spence, what he did was he milked it out as long as he could. He dragged negotiations out, asking for stuff nobody else ever asked for ever, because that's what his game plan was. So what he did was he knew that they were supposed to fight. I want to say it was either September or something like that. Then it was like November, then it was December. So then after a while, what he said was he left negotiations so he can get a tune-up against David Avanesian. Before he got the tune-up, before he announced the tune-up, what he said that, and then remember they were talking about, since the negotiations had went awry, that Spence may be facing Keith Thurman. What he said on that camera, on that Instagram live, whatever it is he did, at one point, he was telling Errol, he said that, and I'm hearing that you're going to fight Keith Thurman. If you're fighting Keith Thurman, that's not the truth. You're not going to be the truth if you fight Keith Thurman. Didn't you say you wasn't going to fight Keith Thurman? And so that kind of put Errol Spence in a conundrum, because if you are the truth, then how you going to go ahead and do something you said you're not going to do? And I don't know if that even played a factor into it, but it just, the optics of it didn't look too good. So anyway, Errol allowed old boy to get his little tune-up in when he's still taking his long layoff. And like I said, and I'm not going to bring up the whole thing about seeing him back in 2015, 2016, knowing that how difficult it was for him to make weight even then. And then as you get older, accidents, layoffs, and things like that. Terrence Crawford is a mastermind, man. He knew the longer he let that man stay out of that ring, that it was going to be debilitating for him to be able to be at his optimal level once they go ahead and sign a fight. And on top of that, the cherry on top is that I get a tune-up before I face you, and you don't have a tune-up. You facing somebody like me who's a sharp shooter. I'm not gonna lose to nobody like that. That's what happened. And so now it's even like worse that they even talking about fight at 147. Man, you seen what that dude looked like getting into that ring. And the last thing I'm gonna say is this, and people talking about you seen the skill, the difference. It doesn't matter what. Yeah, maybe now, because the damage is done. He fought like a weak ass dude who confidence might be messed up now. Like Errol trying to be who he was as far as being a stand-up guy, saying that that's the only fight that I want. Don't give me anybody else. I commend him for that. But it was just a bad decision that he made, because you're not going to be somebody like Terrence Crawford with those limitations that you came into the ring with. As far as now, like I said, as far as them talking about, well, I seen what I seen. He couldn't move his head. He couldn't do this. I've seen Errol Spence more powerful than that. I saw him tag Crawford a few times in that fight, and it looked like he was Paulie Malignaggi with his punches. So you can't tell me, well, I just seen what I need to see. Well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, now it don't really matter. Yeah, probably because his confidence is gonna be gone.
Well,
same damn Errol Spence in that fight. I don't care what anybody says.
So here's I want to first say I want to thank Spence for making that fight happen, but I think he made that fight happen in a different way than what you're saying. From based on what the tweets I saw Spence complaining, man, I feel like I'm getting like ripped off here. He said something about, but he was talking about his own promoters, his own team.
How do you know that?
So I'll explain. So basically what that is that they were behind the scenes, they were telling him not to take the fight, right? And that's why here's the thing. If you look at all the old interviews from the past, anytime someone brought up Crawford to Spence, he would always take off from the interview. Always. Right?
You keep saying that. I don't have any.
I'll send you receipts later. I'll say. So
right there. Whoa. I'm gonna let you finish. I promise you.
Huh? So
telling me something that's a flawed. I watched all Errol Spence interviews. Like you talking to the biggest Errol Spence fan. So how am I ever? You telling me something I've never seen? Now,
okay. There's a nice YouTuber called Bruce Vane, and he broke down the video. And it was like Spence had glasses on from when the video I saw, and the guy was talking to him. Who you're gonna fight next, blah blah blah. And then he implied about Terrence Crawford. He said, "I'll see you later," and he just took off. But anyways, I'm not saying that he did that because he was nervous about talking about Crawford. I think that was a promotional thing. So
Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt is what he said right after the Ugas fight.
So out of the Ugas, but prior to the Ugas fight, he would never talk about fighting Crawford. He was always talking about the other side of the street and this and that, and so I will say this is that I think his advisors were always all telling him not to take the fight, and then he fought for it. He said, and then he even said I forgot from what I gathered. I think he refused every fight they offered him until it was the Crawford fight. So I think that's what it was when he said he was feeling like he was ripped off, or it's because the fight wouldn't happen. It's not because of Errol Spence. I don't think it's because of Crawford. I think it was more of the promotional side of the people behind everything. I think that's what held up the fight more so than anything. And Black Prime offered
Black
Crawford,
Prime.
I think isn't that what it's called? Black something?
Don't tell me he's saying that he was supposed to go to Black Prime to fight.
No. That's what they offered him a $10 million to fight an easy fight. But what I'm saying is that I don't agree with that. I got upset that he took that fight, right? But I think it was Spence's handlers that didn't want the fight to happen. I'm not saying Spence or Crawford. I think it was Spence's handlers, the people who run his because anyone on the PBC side has basically no control over their fights. So they basically take what's given to them. If you see the contracts, how Al Haymon has the contracts, you'll know what I'm talking about. But whatchamacallit, that's why I don't think neither guy really had a say in what actually really happened, is because PBC had all the power in that fight because they had 3 belts. So since 2018, I've always wanted to see that fight. Most people were begging to see that fight since 2018. And what they say, they blackballed. I think they blackballed Crawford. That's because Crawford didn't, on his side of the street, didn't have that many fighters to fight. And all the big time welterweights were on the PBC side, so he never had opportunity to stack up his resume, and so I think the people with all the power was PBC. The person with all the belts has all the power, all the say so. So I think it was more towards on that side why the fight never happened sooner. And actually, it would have been more to Spence's benefit for it to happen later than Crawford, because Crawford's 36 years old. Almost about he's about to turn 36, or is already 36 now. And so most people agree that your prime is 28 to 34 in boxing. And so technically it would benefit, based on biology, it would benefit Spence for the fight to happen later than Crawford.
It wouldn't benefit Spence because Spence has more of the grueling type of fights that he had against the upper echelon caliber guys. When Bud is just waiting around fighting less than stellar opponents, he's going to stay sharp. But one thing I know is this, though, sir. This the one thing that I know for facts is I heard my man say this.
Well, everybody know who I want next. I want Terrence Crawford next.
I was waiting to hear that since 2018, since the fight was even talked about.
That's all I know, because he was over there collecting belts while Terrence Crawford is fighting Mir Khan.
Okay, that was a trash fight. I agree.
Mean Machine. He's fighting like.
Oh, Mean Machine's actually pretty good though. Mean Machine gave Crawford a harder fight, to be honest.
Who Mean Machine be? David Ebenezer? Like, come on, like we ain't gonna do that now. We ain't gonna. We're not gonna.
Have you ever seen the fight Jose Benavidez Jr. versus Crawford? Jose Benavidez Jr. was tagging Crawford for many rounds.
Jose Benavidez.
Yeah, but that knockout was bad though. That knockout was bad.
Yeah, David Benavidez. Jose Benavidez Jr. He wasn't drained. You know what I'm saying? Like he came in the ring. You know. Like not depleted, and then he also only problem. So Crawford always gonna have an advantage. He just unfortunately got shot, and he only had one leg. But outside that, he was nourished.
I do agree with you that Spence did look drained, and his eyes looked like he just woke up. I'm gonna be 100 with you, bro. When I first saw it, I even said to my mom, I said, why does that dude look like he just woke up?
That's what my nephew said. He said what's wrong with him? I was like, I didn't know. I just thought Spence looked like he normally, be.
And he didn't look as big as he didn't look as full as he usually did. That's the other thing I noticed.
Crawford beat a clone, man. Like that wasn't no.
but I will say he didn't look. Obviously, he had a hard time making 147 and stuff like that. And I do agree that wasn't 100% Spence, but I will say the just based on from the contracts that I've seen and all the stuff I've seen, and I've been following boxing since 2016. Based on what I see, PBC, when they have all the power, they hold up fights. They're the promotional company that's famous for holding up the fights the most. So
well, yeah, come on, G. You gotta give me some examples.
So they held up Wilder versus Joshua. That never happened because of PBC.
So,
and then
no.
You did,
right?
You cannot tell me that isn't the case because Wilder already snitched on himself by saying they turned down the Joshua fight way back in the day.
$50 million, man. And then
but that's
even now they don't really want Wilder right now. Like
obviously, no. I would take Wilder to smash Joshua, right? I took Wilder to win that fight even before. So, but what I'm saying is you can I have receipts.
Listen,
Ty, you've heard me say a million times that I always took Wilder to beat Joshua, even when they weren't the fight was that, and they did. Yes, they might have said they offered $50 million, but if you go on Twitter, they already deleted the tweets. I have all the screenshots on my phone.
He says he's telling me that Errol Spence is ducking out of answering Terrence Bud Crawford questions. We see Joshua every time they're interviewing him, they talk about Wilder. He talking about something else. Oh, my back is hurt because. Come on, G.
Okay. So here's the thing. So on Twitter, Wilder put out and said, "I took less money to fight Fury. I guaranteed you a rematch." I forgot what he said, but he's like, they offered me more to fight Joshua.
He's taking that out of context because Fury,
I'll read it right now. Give me one second.
That's out of context. Check this out, Ty. Are you ducking somebody? You have a history with Fury. Fury, legitimately has fought you. Wilder was having a tough time getting guys in the ring. That's the reason why his rapport with Ortiz is so good, because nobody wanted to fight him. They was in the same ballpark. So they got a connection with each other. So they understand that. Also, Joshua reneged on Wilder in the past. They were supposed to fight. They were leading him on, but he ended up taking those other fights, the Big Baby fight. Then he decided to fight Ruiz and that sort of thing. So if you somebody that's like that who been playing me in the past, remember the saying, you fooled me once, shame on you. You fooled me twice, shame on me. So why would I have a legitimate fight with Fury lined up who I know will fight me, who I know I have history with. We ended up having a fight that was a draw. And then we have I'm gonna continue to negotiate with him, because if I stop negotiating with him and I try to fool with you, then you go ahead and renege, then I'm left with egg on my face. So that's what that is. Now, if you telling me that he decided not to fight and go out of negotiations with Joshua, and then he fights somebody that we don't know of or somebody we haven't heard of, that's different.
So I'll read you. So Eddie Hearn retweeted Deontay Wilder's tweet. Let me just read it to you right quick.
Liar,
well, here's the thing. He retweeted Deontay Wilder. It's not him saying it. It's Deontay Wilder saying it. It's official. Let me read it to you. I said he retweeted with the caption saying, "I thought AJ ducked you." And then it said, this is what Wilder said: "When the fight was a draw, I told you that I would give you a rematch. You know I was offered more money to fight Joshua. Then I was getting to fight you. Again, being a man of my word, I fought you like I said I would." And then Eddie Hearn retweeted that.
But he fought what? Tyson Fury?
No. So when that fight was a draw, he's talking about Tyson Fury. I told you that I would give you a rematch, which he's talking to Tyson Fury. You know I was offered more money to fight Joshua. That's what Wilder said. Then I was getting to fight you. Again, being a man of my word, I fought you like I said I would.
There you go. I do this all the time, man. I say something to somebody, right?
Uh-huh.
And to confuse somebody else, I'll go ahead and say, what did you hear about this situation? But I'm the one who put the situation out in the first place. Like when you know how to manipulate and deceive people, he's deceiving the public by doing that, because they know by actually offering Wilder a fight at that particular time, Wilder has ties with Tyson Fury. He just had a draw. Wilder wants to fight Fury again, so no matter what they offer him, he's a stand-up dude. So he's going to want the Fury fight again. Why am I going to go in this direction with this dude who I had history with, who faked out on me before, but I'm going to leave in not knowing if this fight is actually going to go through? I want Fury because we had a draw. That's the first time I fight in my career I ever had a draw against this guy who's really better than Anthony Joshua.
Of course.
So that's is that even a question though? But
a lot of people were saying that there was never even offer on the table or anything that was on the table. Wilder was offered more money to fight Joshua at the time of negotiations for the second fight, but Wilder's admitting with this tweet that he turned down more money to fight Joshua to fight Fury. I'm just saying, like,
let me put it like this. Let's say, for instance, just generally, okay, some dude has been punking the hell out of me. He's been punking the hell out of me. Now everybody is like, man, they just looking at me like I'm soft. They're like, man, you scared of that dude. I saw him punk you. And so the dude somebody ends up snuffing that dude. And then he's going to go ahead and get his get back for the dude that snuffed him. And as he's on his way over there to fight, like they're on the brink of fighting each other, I say, man, you a pussy. You don't want to fight me. He's already ready to fight this dude because he's upset with him. That's what he did. He waited for that opportunity. It looked good. It sounds good. But he wasn't really trying to fight. He just waited for that opportunity. Why, out of all times, would you wait until? It's like dudes do that all the time. What they'll do is they don't say anything about another fighter, but then as soon as they sign to fight somebody else, and then like it's already set in stone. Now I want to talk shit about you. Like that's whole shit, man.
No. What they just retweeted what Wilder said. They were not saying that. They didn't put any words in Wilder's mouth. They didn't say, "Oh, you did this, you did that." They just retweeted.
They retweeted. Yeah, they retweeted it. But the intricacies, the idiosyncrasies of the situation is just that. Is the fact that Wilder, his focus is on Fury because he had just had a draw with Fury, the first draw ever in his career against what I would consider the great Tyson Fury. So yes, I'm not gonna what sense does it make sense for him to go ahead and try to get some get back for the guy who gave him his first blemish on his career? So for somebody just to come in and say, okay, well, I'm gonna offer you more money to fight me, that sounds good at that time, but you know where my heart is. So yeah, you're gonna offer me that right now. And again, the cherry on top is the fact that he BS Wilder in the past. So my heart, I don't know how.
So I'll say this: my prediction, if that fight was to happen, would be like a between round 1 to round 3 knockout before Wilder, just to get that out of the way. And then the other thing is, on the PBC side of the street, it's if Al doesn't give the green light, it doesn't happen.
As it should, sir.
So
You know what I'm saying?
so what I'm saying is like, so even if Wilder wanted to take the Joshua fight, if Al Heyman says no, it's no. If he says yes, it's yes. So even we could debate on who did this or who did that. If Al does not give the green light, it doesn't matter what the fighters say.
So let me ask you this question. So can people at Top Rank just haphazardly do what they want?
No, absolutely not. But I will say it's I'll say this, it's Al is less likely to do deals with other promoters, as like, so I would say Top Rank is more likely to work with other promoters than Al Heyman. I mean, you have been seeing it lately, but with his prime fighters, Al Heyman is more likely to kind of not work with his prime fighters, like with Tank, with Keith Thurman, unless it's like when it's they're towards their end of the career, or if they've lost a couple times, yeah, he'll do like a co-promotional thing. But for the most part, if he can keep out of other other promotional companies,
who did you just mention? You said Tank, and who else?
Tank, Keith Thurman.
Let's start there first. So with Tank, that's more Mayweather. Mayweather is Mayweathering Tank. So he's not gonna fight anybody he thinks is a threat to Tank. That's Mayweather. I don't think Al Heyman gives two rats ass. It's Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman, like those guys fight dudes once they join PBC. Who was out there for Keith Thurman actually to fight that was lucrative enough for him to not fight other dudes like Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, and those guys? Like, who was out there that was a lucrative fight for him to go and leave out of the PBC umbrella?
Actually, you know what? There's actually not that many options, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because Keith Thurman, like, to me, was just like the poster child to a certain degree of PBC, like that 2013-ish era when he was "Duck Me Son" type thing. Who else though? Like, let's go ahead and because I think Top Rank to me is the one who really likes to keep things in house. Now and then when you talk about PBC, I think Mayweather likes to keep things in house when it comes to Tank. Like them other dudes, I don't think they really care. If the money's right, I think they'll go ahead and like Fulton. Fulton fought.
I knew it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, the money was right on that one. The money was right on that one. The money was definitely right on that one.
Especially for him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. The only my bad.
Yeah, I just want to run through this, and I want Cook on Thurman, man. Lil King in the building says Zhāng, baby Zhāng. Yeah, he did his thing, man.
Wait, he got Hollow the Don right there. They ain't you know Hollow the Don? The battle rapper.
No,
that's his profile pic.
Oh, not particularly. So before we get to Keith Thurman, I wanted to say that the only I'm not. By the way, PBC was my first. I actually have some PBC clothing and stuff. I'm not dissing. Anytime I talk about this stuff, I'm not dissing on nobody. I'm not saying they're not good in other things and stuff like that. But I would say my biggest complaint about the PB side of the street is that they don't have that many slots for fighters to fight on, like for Showtime and stuff. So like for me, a lot of these guys will sign a PBC and then you don't see them for like 2 years. So it's like, so I'm like. And then Keith Thurman, I've read one of his comments. People are like, "When are you gonna fight? When are you gonna fight?" And he's like, or like, "Why aren't you fighting?" They're like, that's boxing politics, and they're putting me on the shelf. So I'm like, and I read it was his comment in a recent comment, probably like about a month ago. I read he was responding to people in the comment section on Instagram, and he was blaming boxing politics about why he's not getting any fights. And so, I'm not sure what that was on about, but that's what he said. It was politics related, that why he's not getting any fights.
Yeah, Keith got a little chubby, man. You know what I'm saying? He one of them dudes. He got his little fight against Manny. You know what I'm saying? He was eating a little high off the hog. Got married.
Silk sheets.
Silk sheets. You know? Like some dudes, you can't If they like Madonna got that Mayweather.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was like, dude, he even said it like, I retired because I got the money I wanted, so there's no point in fighting anymore. That's literally what he said. And his money stretches even further in Argentina. So it's like,
Right.
so whatchamacallit, but yeah, I mean, like, honestly, if PBC had their fighters fighting 3-4 times a year, bro, they would be the best, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you would have boxing on all the time though, because they stable is so thick, you know.
And it's like, it's stable, so thick, but it's like if they couldn't even get all their fights to fight once a year, if they would take up all the Showtime slots if every one of their fighters fought once.
Yeah,
Or they would still have fighters left over that haven't fought.
you know
So,
what? One of their problems is that a lot of those guys got to the point where they made it to a certain level where you can only have them basically on Showtime. Like you can't really have them on those little small networks and things like that.
well, actually, Al Heyman burned his bridges with all those small networks because what he would do was he would promise Bounce, Spike, and all these fights or whatever, and then he wouldn't deliver the fights, and then they would cancel on him. They would get out of the contract with Al Heyman, and then all these networks don't want to do business with him because he didn't fulfill his promises with the amount of fights he was supposed to give them.
Man,
And
we used to have fights on Tuesdays. We be odd days. You be like,
I remember in 2016, 2017, I would see PBC on Fox like on Tuesday, Thursday, bro.
yeah, well, that was
And he brought back free boxing, right? He brought free TV boxing, which that was like honestly the best thing that ever happened. And I'm just like, yo, this is amazing. Like I get to just turn on the TV after work and just watch boxing. And
I'm watching. I'm like, damn, Austin Trump fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like, and I saw what I had so many memorable times, sitting on my couch watching J-Rock. Having his fights, bro, and I'm just like, this is amazing. Like he's paying his fighters good, and we don't have to pay out of pocket. Like this is good for everybody. But then Al Heyman kind of spoiled his fighters, so now they're like not willing. So he might have slots, but they're not willing to fight for the money that. So basically, if he's paid them $1 million before, they're not gonna want to fight for anything less than that. But if he's not getting enough viewers, or he's like, all right, I'll let you fight on here for like $500K. They're not gonna want to fight. And so it's like so I would say some of it is because there's not enough slots, and some of these fighters don't want to fight for a little bit less money.
Yeah, but and check this out, y'all was supposed to be in Orlando today, for that Henchman's fight.
You?
But yeah, because check this out, man. They had tickets that was like real inexpensive, maybe like $50-$60 in the venue, right? And then from I'm in the DC area, I saw a flight, bro, for about $60 round trip. It was Frontier Airline, and so what I was gonna do, I was gonna fly down there today. I got a lady who, we cool, you know what I'm saying. She called me Poppy, you know what I'm saying. She from beautiful lady, but she stayed down there, and so she was like, Poppy, let me know. But I got so busy and got distracted, I forgot to go ahead and set it up. But I was so surprised at how inexpensive it was. Like I looked at that like 2 weeks ago. Because at the time she was at the French Riviera and Cannes and Nice and places like that, and she was like, "Just let me know, Pop, if you come." And I just forgot all about it.
So how long would it take to drive from her place to the fight?
All that stuff in Orlando is like right
there.
Yeah, Orlando is very small, man. Like you got the suburbs and stuff like that.
Right there. Oh, okay. So then you would have dude. That would have been a good setup, man. I'm sorry that you forgot about that.
I forgot all about it, man. I got bigs. I got softball on Wednesdays now. I'm a softball player.
That's what's up.
And all that, man. I'm trying to perfect my game in that. I need to get to a batting cage, man. You play any? I know you said you had trouble getting up them steps and hills and things like that. But
man. So yeah, I didn't have the best cardio, but I used to do I used to do mixed martial arts actually, and then I went to weightlifting, powerlifting, bodybuilding type of thing, and that's what I still casually do. Yeah. And then maybe I'm considering going into boxing, but right now I just weightlift and just jog for exercise, just to keep in decent shape. When I'm completely right now, I'm not so much in decent cardio shape right now, so I would be a little tired. But if I build my cardio, I'm all right, I guess. But I like to try to get my numbers up for bench press, squat, deadlift, stuff like that.
It's just I'm not like the gym that has the weights that enables me to lift like I want to. It's about 25-30 minutes away, and I got like a nice facility on top of my complex on the rooftop. So, but it doesn't have the heavy weights. So I'm more like trimming down because they got the boxing bag up. They got a whole bunch of stuff up there. They just don't have that, like the weights. So I do that. Once this softball season is over with, we got maybe 5-6 more games. It's the fall season. I'm gonna look into something else to get involved in, maybe volleyball or something, tennis or something. I just want to do different type of activity. Now that I've been in the softball, bro, I promise, if I would have like took up baseball and took it serious, I promise you, I believe I could far in that game, man. Because I was making some catches the other day. Like some people just not as coordinated. And it felt good. I made one catch. And the crowd was like, da-na-na, da-na-na. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you.
I wanted to actually. I know Ty wanted to talk about Keith Thurman earlier. I think he wanted to mention some rumors. Is that what you wanted to mention?
My bad, Ty.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh no, you're good. You're good. You're good. We were just cooking up.
It was
Yeah.
cooking, man. I like, and I love talking about myself. You know what I'm saying? So I get sidetracked.
I feel that. I mean, that's awesome that you play softball, man. I know that's a fun time.
I'm just messing up. But what you gonna say, Ty?
Yeah, let me run this comment that we call Conrad Batts. What's up? Salute to Conrad
Hey,
Batts.
Mr. Conrad. We always fight about Canelo in the comment. I mean, in the Instagram messages. But he's a cool dude. I love Conrad.
Comrade is a comrade.
Yeah. Exactly. Conrad is a comrade.
Hey, Conrad, what you think about the fight, man? If you seen it? Yeah, it's rumors. I don't believe it, but I mean, I slightly believe it, but I have to wait till I see some more like
info,
official news. But it's rumors that Keith Thurman and Gervonta Tank, are supposed to be fighting in December at like a 145 weight, and
catch weight.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't. It's not a fight. I mean, if it's true, it's not a fight. I'm highly interested in. Thurman just too inactive, the injuries and all that. So I mean, it would be different to see Tank go up, to 10 pounds. I think his power will carry with him, and Thurman he can't take the best body shot. So I think this is easy work, man.
I was gonna say he has a glass body.
Yeah, this is easy work. And look, and here's the thing: his team, Calvin Forrest, said when things are quiet, deals are being made. And that's what I'm hearing. That so they're cooking something, but I can't see it being a big name. I mean, Thurman's decent, but to me, that's easy work.
I'm gonna say this. I think if Tank gets the knockout, bro, I think Tank's gonna lose every single round until he gets the knockout. That's because he's
playing no dang on Keith Thurman, man. Hell no.
No, that's what I'm just like. I think honestly, bro, that's like the biggest chance for an upset of any person who's fought.
I think so too, because Keith Thurman, like, the more he go up, it's not like you say. Keith Thurman got some issues to the body and things like that, but Keith Thurman, only thing that would be troubling for him is that he's been so inactive. That's the only thing. But
and it's a catch weight too at 145.
Oh so no, hell no, he can't fight it no. Yeah, Tank win that then. Yeah, because he had trouble making 147. Because he said what he do is he'll be at a certain weight, and he said all I gotta do is make 147 for that split second that I get on that scale, and then I get right back.
Oh, so he's like losing it like till the minute, dude.
Yeah, he said he got like a scientific method just to get down for that one moment, boom, and then he right back, getting right. So he ain't gonna be able to make under 147. Oh hell,
he's got to sit in the sauna before weighing himself.
He's gonna be a sack of bones up in that ring.
No, that's why I think Tank would win that fight by a body shot. To be honest, if it was a Keith Thurman that's allowed to be at 147 and fully rehydrate, then I would say Keith Thurman has a very good shot of winning that fight. I just don't think I think Gervonta's too inactive with his punches. He just doesn't throw enough to win rounds at this point in his career.
And keep in mind that most of his big wins, it's been like a catch weight. You know what I'm saying? So you haven't really seen him fight the best dudes at their best.
So even Mario Barrios came out and said, yeah, there was a catch weight. I couldn't rehydrate to a certain weight. But I didn't complain about it because I signed the contract.
Right.
But he said, but it was still, just what it is. It wasn't a fair fight for him.
Right. And Mario Barr seems like a stand-up guy because it wasn't like he just came out with that information. Somebody asked him.
Somebody asked him. He's like, "Yeah, it was a catch weight." Yeah, he just answered the question right away. He's like, "Yeah, it was a rehydration clause, but I didn't complain because I signed the contract." But
he seemed like a good dude. I
yeah,
love
he's a very good dude. He's a very good dude. I enjoy his fights, and I follow him on Instagram. He's a cool dude.
It's hard to root against him. You know what I'm saying? Even if he's fighting a fighter that you like better, it's hard to root against him.
I agree.
Yeah, let me run through Conrad's comment. He says, set knockout. Zhāng was way too crafty and quick. Not a good decision of Joyce to come in heavier and even slower. I didn't like that either. I mean, I know, like I said, I know it worked for Ferry against Wilder, but Joyce ain't got Ferry's footwork.
I think Joyce should have came in heavier, but not 30 pounds heavier. I think he should have maybe came like 10 like 5 to 15 pounds heavier, but he came in like 30 something pounds heavier. So I think that was a bad move. He should have came in heavier, but not that heavy.
Shit, man, you gotta watch out for the hook, man. That right, because I'm sure that he was preparing for the left, because the first fight also it looked like he had never fought against a lefty, and I saw him fight against Usyk in that World Championship boxing, but Usyk was landing every punch he wanted to land, but Usyk was moving a lot. Boom, he was landing. I thought he was gonna stop Joyce, but Joyce was taking them punches well. Joyce was lighter at the time. It was like 10 years ago.
And also, did you know that? I know this is kind of out of the blue, but did you know Sean Porter beat Usyk in the amateurs?
Mm-hmm.
I still think that's crazy to even miss.
Did you see the Usyk and Beterbiev fight?
I have not.
That's good as hell, man. That was a good fight. It was going at it. Usyk once he got on and he had his confidence in the amateurs, he was tough to beat. But Beterbiev was a bad boy too.
It's unfortunate that Beterbiev turned pro at 29, bro. He turned pro like super late. I wish if he had turned pro maybe like 2, 3, 4 years earlier, I feel like he could have done more in his career.
He did a lot already, though.
He has, but it's just like I'm not. I know, like I said, age is just a number, but at heavyweight, I would the older guys still fare really well, but at the lower weight classes, it's generally speaking, it's a little bit harder for the older guys to fare.
The Eastern Europeans, some bad dudes, man.
Yeah, I agree. And what was you got Richardson Hitchens to beat Cepeda?
I'm just assuming, you know what I'm saying, because Cepeda's a little faded, and then Hitchens, from what I've seen, the little highlights, he's quick, and typically, like you say, like older guys have trouble. You know, that's like that speed might be what, because I don't think Hitchens is gonna stand there long enough to get caught like the other dude, like the Puerto Rican guy. Remember?
That was funny, bro.
Josue or something like that.
Yeah. So Josue was talking a lot for that fight, dude.
I call it talking spicy Grey Poupon. You know what I
mean? and I was just like, bro, I wanted Jose to win that fight so bad, dude. And then like I missed the knockout. I forgot what I was doing, and I came back and the fight was already over.
I saw that shit because he was talking so much, like during a press conference, even like they doing the the referee like trying to give him the instructions. He just talking shit. I'm like, oh, he about to mess up Cepeda. Cepeda just waited. He bought his time and clocked him, man.
Clocked him coming in.
Yeah.
And did you see his friends and family crying in the crowd, bro? That was kind of the.
Yeah, he got knocked out again.
Oh, he got knocked out by Dakota Linger. That was bad, dude. Dude, that was bad, bro. He got hit like over and over. He got like hit with like 30 uppercuts.
He was just like, oh God.
I'm just like, apparently he's not done yet, but I don't know, man.
Chris, you still want to go live for that fight?
Yeah. I'm
definitely better than me, man. Like them. See, that's the thing. See, I don't know how you guys are. Like, I'm not daredevilish like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the reason why I never really fully went into boxing. You know, it's probably because my father didn't want me to. But little stuff like, I don't know if you skateboard or anything like that. I can't do stuff like that because I'm looking at like the worst case scenario, falling off of it, hitting your head, or breaking something. Like somebody might do that, and then it's like, oh, okay, the reason why I did that is because of this. So I won't make that mistake again. So I'm gonna get back on the board. Like I'm done. Like I do something like that. Like it's a wrap. And so like for Josue to be considering after them brutal knockouts, because that was brutal against Zepeda, and then the guy you just mentioned, like that was even worse. Because
that was even worse because he got back up and took another like 30 more uppercuts. He like took 30 uppercuts, got back up, took another 30.
Still fighting.
And so apparently he on his Instagram he's trying to come back or whatever. But I don't think he's fought still since then.
They're gonna take it real slow. Give them some really light touches. You know what I'm saying? As far as like the power and things like that. Don't give him anybody that can crack.
And Dakota Linger actually could crack. He had a decent amount of knockouts on his record, but that should on paper that should still been an easy fight for him. But he got caught with a really bad shot in the second round. And never really recovered after that. And then the referee was just watching.
He didn't like Vargas. Like,
I was like, he was thinking if he dies, he dies, man.
He dies. Hey, where you at again?
Oh, where do I live?
Yeah, where do you reside?
Oh, North Carolina, near Raleigh.
Do they have Wegmans down there?
They do.
Okay, so my complex Wegmans is like right over there. I had to go outside. It's raining and stuff like that today, so I just go ahead and went over there because I was trying to watch this Colorado and WestCon game, but also so my spot. I'm about to go over there now. It's called San Antonio's. You know what I'm saying? I get a little whatever it is I get, bartender. We run plays, man. That's my boy. You know what I'm saying? He even texted me afterwards, but I was out because he be doing too much. You know what I'm saying? I get my little 1-2, but he always do extras. You know what I'm saying? So I come back in, I'm wobbling, I'm trying to take my little nap. So it just last night, like I said, I've been so busy. That's the reason why I missed the Henchins fight because I've been so busy. But on Friday, I want to do my little happy hour thing. So I did that yesterday. And so today I go over there to Wegmans after I got my workout. So I did a workout, walked over to Wegmans, and I came back and I was going to watch the game. By the time I took my little sip of my beer, I'm sitting up there to sleep because I'm tired from all this stuff that I've been doing. But anyway, saying that to say, damn, somebody just texted me. But anyway, so damn, I forgot what the hell I was gonna say.
Wegmans and Josue Vargas.
Oh yeah. So I get my ticket at Wegmans, right?
Yeah.
I go to Wegmans is one of them spots too. I go to. I get sidetracked because they got food.
Yep.
They got drinks.
It takes 20 minutes for me to get there. 25 minutes. I got 20 minutes.
So I get over there and I say, well, you know what, the dude, I tied one on pretty hard yesterday. So let me go ahead and just get a little beer to give me a little balance for the day. You understand? I got me a little work. So I go grab me a beer. So the lady who's the bartender, she's actually from Ukraine. So, and she's talking a little shit. The dude next to me is from Africa. So we kind of having a conversation, kind of going back and forth. She's saying her thing, and I'm like, well, she said something. As long as a person not from Russia, I said, well, hell, give it a couple months, you're gonna be from Russia. You know what I'm saying? But she was talking shit, so that's the reason why I said that. So, but she took it well. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I get my ticket now, and I had 2 beers. Now you know this area right here. This is the Beltway. Ain't no 2 beers gonna be $6, but the total price was $666. And she was like, yeah, that's your ticket right there. So I got a ticket for $666, but I can't really, I'm scared to leave the motherfucking apartment, man. Oh man, but my bad. What you gonna say something?
No, I was gonna say, but I was waiting for you to tie that in with Josue Vargas getting knocked out twice.
Oh no, it wasn't gonna go. It wasn't that. It wasn't.
Oh,
we're about to wrap up because y'all fellas doing the Henchins in Zepeda.
Yeah, I think that's gonna start like in 50 minutes.
Yeah, it probably start at like 8 or 9 or something like that. We'll
probably have a commercial break, I guess.
We'll be back.
Main event.
Yeah, there's a couple good fights. Oh, what's his name is fighting on there too?
Conor Ben's on there.
Conor Ben,
that's crazy, man.
That's crazy. Pascal's on there.
Here's the thing, man. Like, this is my opinion. I don't care if a fighter's juicing or not. I really don't. But the only thing I do care about is that they come up with a stupid excuse. I'd rather than be a man and be like, yeah, I took it, whatever, ban me for whatever time. But there is no one's ever been positive drug tested because of food that they ate. That's never happened before. That's not possible. I can explain for an hour why that's not possible. But anyways, because if just to make it short, if that was true, you can test positive for food. Everybody in America that eats meat will test positive for trenbolone. And because 99% of cows in the United States are injected or fed trenbolone, and that's a bodybuilding steroid. So if it's possible to test positive from that, then everybody and their mom would be testing positive. So I know that's not the case. So the clenbuterol thing with Canelo, that was BS. From the meat and stuff, that's not possible. And the only way you can test positive for clenbuterol is if you took clenbuterol. The only time you can test positive for trenbolone is if you took trenbolone. I think in turn, quote unquote guilty. No, I think 95%, not 95, like 80% of these fighters are taking stuff. So
The only thing about Canelo, though, is they said that when they took the other, like they did like blood, when they did the hair or whichever one was opposite, that it didn't test positive for.
I'll explain why that happened. So the longer you wait, the less chance. So they they took the first sample and then they tested him again. So basically, what happens is VADA can detect, at least from the knowledge I attained a couple of years ago. I don't know if it's improved, but from the knowledge at the time, VADA was able to test. They can catch you for clenbuterol 12 days after coming off of it, right? So what I think happened was that they tested Canelo on the 13th day, and maybe their way of testing either improved or it just happened to catch him, and that's where they catch them for trace amounts, because on day 13 or whatever the day when they're trying to catch the test at the right time, they just happened to detect trace amounts of clenbuterol, so they could tie that to meat because it's quote unquote trace. If they had tested him 11 days or 10 days, it would have been like a full amount of clenbuterol in his system. But since they tested him 12 or 13 or a couple days after it's not detectable, somehow the test detected trace amounts or whatever. And so whenever they did the second sample or the second test, he tested negative because they just waited a little longer.
Yeah, I feel you, G. All that sounds good, man, but that's my boy Canelo, so I ain't really trying to hear that.
So no. I love Canelo. No, bro, I'm the biggest.
I'm not messing with you, G.
No, because I here's the thing. I was one of the few people who didn't care that he tested positive. I'm like, oh, okay, that's not surprising. It's because 90% of athletes in all sports take something when there's a lot of money involved. So it's like, it's more uncommon for you to be a natural fighter than it is unnatural. So that's why I wasn't tripping whenever he tested positive. I don't know, people were losing their minds and stuff. I'm like, dude, this is like what literally almost every big athlete does. So I wasn't tripping about it, and have nothing against him. I never changed my opinion on him. I just think the food excuse was BS because it's not possible, because once the animal takes the drug, it gets metabolized. So 99% of it is not even there anymore as soon as it enters the body. So how can one piece of meat from 1% of a drug that's in the body be detectable? That's just not. Even if he ate the whole cow, he would not test positive for it.
I don't know. See, I gotta lean towards Canelo because at that time, like maybe a month later, I went to Cancun and I was eating at them buffets. And beef. So he might have been at one of them resorts, man. But anyway, like as far as the hints, man, they got like you said, they got the Ben on there, they got McCaskill on there. I don't know how many of these fights Austin Williams is fighting. Yeah, and then next week though. So next week, Canelo, Charlo, you got Ramos Lubin, Ugas Barrios. I don't know Garcia and his residence dude, but that's supposed to open the thing up. And then Frank Sanchez is fighting, but he keep fighting them little bums. Alexander Gazdik is fighting. Goucher is on the card.
Oh man, that's a lot of good names. Oh, I want to ask you a question. Do you think Ugas fought really dumb against Spence? I thought Ugas had a horrible game plan, just standing there blocking shots.
Yeah, I didn't know whether or not he was doing that intentionally or if he was getting tagged to the body so much that it made him more stationary. But what I do notice is that what guys, because it seemed like Lamont Peterson was fighting the wrong fight, but it seemed like guys See, so then you would think Bud Crawford fought a bad fight or not a smart fight, but he stood in there. And all of those guys see is something that they see in Errol Spence that they're trying to take advantage
Try to take
of.
advantage of. So I think Ugas, I've known Ugas when I've been watching Ugas for a while, and he seemed to move around a lot. But when he fought Spence, it just seemed like he was there. He wanted to trade with him. And I'm like, you don't trade with Spence. Spence is gonna hit you harder, and he's gonna hit you to the body a lot harder. And I mean, but the problem with Ugas moves a lot. So I was just like, I'm not saying. I would have thought. I thought Ugas was gonna lose that fight regardless of what he did, right? I thought Spence was gonna overtake him no matter what, right? Ugas had some good moments in there and stuff like that, but I just think Ugas just standing there and blocking shots is, I mean, yeah, you can, if you're like moving and blocking and stuff, that's one thing, but he was literally standing there and just covering his head and just smiling every time he got hit. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, it was entertaining. It was entertaining him trying to trade and stuff like that, but it was like, I thought Ugas would have moved around a little bit more in that fight instead of just sitting there and taking shots. I don't know. I just thought that was strange when I watched that fight. But
he didn't capitalize. He didn't capitalize when Spence lost the mouthpiece. You know, some guys will capitalize on that. Some guys won't. But I think he should have capitalized on that.
I think at that point, I think Ugas was starting to get a little battered. But yeah, I mean, I just thought Ugas didn't fight the right fight. I mean, it's his fault. It was a good win on Spence, and even if Ugas came with a perfect game plan, I thought Spence was still going to take that no matter what. But I feel like Ugas made a big crucial mistake by not by.
He was fighting Errol Spence at full strength. So yeah, I can't really knock Ugas. He took the body shots. It made him more stationary where he couldn't move around because he was fighting Spence on his last stand. Like Custer had a last stand. You know, you had Spence who had a last stand of being a replenished, solid 147-pound fighter. When he fought Bud Crawford, he was a shell of himself. He was a clone. I got one last question for you fellas, man, because I don't even know if y'all want me to even attempt to jump on with you later on, because I'm gonna hit my spot. By the time you see me next time, you ain't gonna want to be dealing with me next time.
You got them bears in you, man. If you got them bears in you, you're gonna be tired.
Nah, listen, man. I'm going to my spot. They fill me up with these little margaritas and stuff like that. It's little ladies and stuff like that be around. We have a good time. By the time I'm up out of there, like I said, you don't want to deal with me during that time.
But if you think you're healthy enough to hop on, just feel free to.
Yeah, will do. But what I was gonna say was this: what do you think about Shakur? Do you agree with him as far as those guys ducking him? De Los Santos is saying that he called them cowards. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so I don't know exactly. I'm gonna just speculate. I don't know exactly what happened. I'm not saying I'm right here, but just to get that out of the way. But I think they probably thought the money wasn't worth the reward. I guess the money wasn't worth the risk. I meant, right. or maybe their handlers were kind of telling them to pull out. Not entirely sure, to be honest, but it could be either or, because both guys would have gotten career high paydays fighting him. So I don't think the money was wrong. I just, maybe they were like, I could probably build my career getting maybe a quarter of those paydays, but keep building my career, or they were forcibly pulled out by their side of the street, I guess, or because this doesn't seem like, I don't think any fighter's ever scared of another fighter. I just think maybe they thought there was a different financial way that they could have gone, or they just straight up Shakur's too risky, and 1 million is not enough to fight Shakur. Maybe I don't think they should have taken the fight for $1 million, dude. I think they should have taken the 1.5 million, whatever it was. I think I'm gonna say it's a duck, but maybe not. Maybe they were just thinking whatever is best for their career, I guess. I guess that's a duck. I think I would say it was either their team ducked for them or they ducked. So yeah, a duck, I guess.
Okay. What about you, Ty?
Well, I'll say Shakur was in the same situation with Devin Haney. you know, he didn't like the payday or whatever that, you know, Haney that, you know, he was getting. So he was in this situation before. But to me, $1 million, you know, to fight Shakur, that's good money, you know, for Frank Martin.
That's the guarantee, bro. That's like, and then money on the back end and sponsors, so he'll get more than that.
Yeah, so I mean that was a good payday. So I mean I was happy that they were going to fight. I don't think he would have won, but I mean now he's fighting. Who's he fighting again? Is it Santos?
De Los Santos, yeah.
Yeah, so he's fighting Santos. I mean, I don't think it was a duck. I think they're just being strategic with, you know, Frank Martin's career. You know, because he looked a little shaky in this last performance. So I think they're just being real strategic with, you know, his career moving forward. But I don't think it was a duck or anything. I think they just trying to, you know, work out some other options or something like that. But I mean, to me that was a good offer for Frank Martin.
But check this out though. So no, it's a couple things. One, I don't think Pitbull, like where Pitbull is and the option Pitbull has to fight Tank again. Why in the hell am I gonna be messing around with Shakur Stevenson? And I got like Tank dangling right there. Like Tank is the money guy. Like that's the big fight. Yep. So it don't. That's to me. That's not a duck. He may say like, you know, I don't even really want to, you know, mess with dude, but I can always come back to him if I'm not successful against Tank, or if I'm successful against Tank, I can always defend against him. Like so, it just doesn't make any sense. It's like sorry. No, as far as Frank Martin is concerned, I think that it's a lot of things. It's a lot of moving parts there. Some people saying that Frank Martin is trying to move away from Derrick James and go back to the people in Indianapolis that he was working with before, because Derrick James has too much on his plate and he can't really get the tutelage that he needs. And they're saying that maybe with this fight here, because he's on a contract not too much longer through them, and that they kind of cash him out. Then after you do the money, you do the split. Fighting Shakur right now, which is a good opportunity. He's so close to being in position to get a belt. Like, it don't make sense to fight him now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then, okay, I can probably, let's say, for instance, I'm in line to go ahead and fight for a vacant belt that Devin Haney is certainly going to give up because he's going to go fight Regis. Why not go that route and get the belt and then probably defend against him or unification matchup?
Oh, like so strategic duck.
Not necessarily, because
I'm just kidding.
Because like fighting a guy like that talented, like right, you're gonna have to see him anyway. It's like the Spence and Crawford thing.
It's better to build your way up, like get easier fights, 2-3 easier fights for some money, and then fight Shakur when it's a little bit bigger.
Or even position yourself when you have more bargaining chips. Like, so now if I have a belt and then we fight, then I can go ahead and demand more. Like right now, it's like you more so doing me a favor because your name supersedes mine. But if I have something tangible to my name, then I can bring more to the table when I'm fighting such a dangerous opponent. Like it is the fight business. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that makes sense. I don't think guys are out here ducking no damn Shakur Stevenson. I just think that Shakur Stevenson, he thinks that his name rings bells more than it rings bells. What you did was at 130. A lot of these guys have put a little bit more work in at 135, and they close to the finish line as far as being able to fight for that belt. And now I'm gonna go back and like fight you and give you help you out. No, it don't make sense.
That's really well said. I 100% agree with that. And as far as Isaac Cruz with Tank and stuff like that, I think Isaac Cruz is trying to get that another money fight, because he took whatever money to fight Tank, and now since he went the distance with Tank and gave Tank one of his hardest fights, he can demand more for the rematch, and then whether he's successful or not successful, he got the money, he got the bag, and then after that he'll take more risks.
You know how many pesos that is that he's gonna be fighting for this time?
Times whatever dollar it is by 17.
You know how many pesos that is? He's gonna be like your boy from Argentina.
So if they give him $3 million for that fight, $3 million.
You might not see Pitbull again, bro.
3 million times 17, that's 51 million pesos, bro.
Man, Then listen, he fight that fight, and if he's strategic enough, regardless of the outcome, he get him another fight, and then like kind of he's young, man. Like he can do wonders out there in Mexico. He gonna be the dude. He's already kind of like getting there. They said that when he was in Tank fought Ryan. They said that when Pitbull pulled up, he couldn't go anywhere, and everybody was like mobs of people that was on Pitbull Cruise everywhere he went. So his name ringing a bell. That pay-per-view gonna do some numbers. Like him
and you know, I scored the fight round by round. Like I rewatched it multiple times. Tank versus Cruz.
Pitbull.
I had it 7-5. Like I had Tank winning by like a round. I didn't think it was a draw. I didn't think it was a. I don't see how you could have scored it for Pitbull, but I would say there's a few rounds that if he had just stepped on the gas a little more, he would have won those rounds. And
yeah, but he was being cautious, you know.
yeah, he was being a little bit. It was definitely being cautious, and that was a 7-5 fight. So like if he had stepped on the gas just a little more, he was that close to getting a draw or winning the fight. Even though scorecards didn't reflect that, I thought it was every round that Tank won and every round that he won was fairly easy to score.
I think the rematch is gonna be Castaño Charlo though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pitbull gonna have some success, but then at the end of the day, Tank gonna line him up.
Yeah. And then plus Tank hurt his shoulder in that fight, so or his arm or whatever. And so if Tank is 100%, I think we might see a late stoppage in that
That's
fight.
what I was gonna ask you.
Yeah, he start late. You know what I'm saying? Like Tank always gonna
start
wait.
late. Yeah, he's gonna wait until he catches you. Yep.
Let me ask y'all this. Would y'all want to see him Tank versus Cruz more or versus Keith Thurman?
I would want to say Tank versus Keith Thurman with no rehydration because I think that could be Tank's first L. But
right.
If we're probably, I would say realistically it's gonna be Isaac Cruz. But if I had to pick which one I'd rather see, I'd probably rather see Keith Thurman because I feel like that would be more of a competitive fight.
I don't like as much like you say. If Tank is gonna fight, I just can't. He's not gonna fight him at his full strength. So I don't want to see that shit. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So and I'm tired of those. I always say this: if you got a catch weight where somebody is not at their full strength, you shouldn't be fighting that person. Tank has too much smoke at 135. 140. He fought at 140 against Barrios to get that belt, so he should be able to fight other dudes too. So I'm just saying 135 and 140. There's a hell of a lot of smoke that he hasn't seen yet. I want to see him fight somebody in that realm as opposed to fighting somebody at 147 who's going to be fighting at 145 who never fought it. I've never seen him at 145 in his career, and he has trouble making 147. No, I don't want to see that.
And yeah, that's the thing is like I would favor Tank against most of these guys, but they'll never politically and you know just how the boxing how it works with his career. He's almost 29. We're probably never gonna see him in a 60-40 fight, 50-50 fight. We probably even if it's slightly in his favor, we're probably never gonna see that. If the deck has to be stacked entirely in his favor in order for the fight to happen.
Yeah, and I'll say this.
That's what I'm saying about Tank Crawford. You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna say? Yeah, Tank Crawford.
When he was capping about how I would fight Crawford, and then he immediately pulled back out.
I'm calling him Tank Crawford because he acting like Bud. You understand?
My God.
What are you gonna say?
Yeah, I just think they're going to be, real cautious with Tank moving forward. Because, Spence had to be Al Heyman's cash cow. So now that Spence lost, I think they just going to try to be
even more
real
protective.
They
almost made a mistake with Isaac Cruz, bro. They were like biting their nails watching that fight, dude.
But here's the thing: he was supposed to fight Rolly, but Rolly had his allegations against him. So. And when I heard that he was taking on Isaac Cruz, I was like, yo, this could be a real interesting fight because, Cruz got that power. And, Tank didn't stop him. And he Cruz went the distance with him. But, of course, he said he hurt his hand. But
And
Like
to
I
be
said,
honest,
a rematch is cool, but I think I would rather go with Thurman, man.
Isaac Cruz, either last few fights, he either looks really good or really bad. And Cruz actually looked really bad his last fight, and actually a few networks actually had him losing that last fight that he had against
Cabrera.
Cabrera. Yeah, Cabrera. Some networks actually had him losing. I had it a really close fight. I thought Cruz edged it barely. Like it was like the other guy was doing a lot of holding and stuff. But it was like, if I'm gonna be very objective, I think Isaac Cruz should have won. But man, that was a really close fight, and Cabrera really showed like like he wasn't gonna let him work.
It's more styles make fights. Like he
Yeah,
was tall, and then
lanky.
had lanky. Cruz probably like overlooked him a little bit. Didn't have that much power, that sort of thing. He has more success against guys, not no tall dude. Like I've never seen him face somebody that tall. Was he lefty? Was he a lefty too?
I actually don't recall.
I just remember he had kind of a little awkward style. And then
Yeah.
if he wouldn't have just been so like he stood there taking some of the punches that Cruz was throwing. Now I think that when Pitbull fought against Tank, that was a cherry pick, man. They like, oh, this little dude right here winging them shots. We just gonna go ahead and line him up at some point and we're gonna get him out of there once Rolly. But see, and then the other thing with Rolly, I don't think those allegations was the reason why they didn't fight. I think they used that as an excuse because I saw the play a long time ago. As Lavelle and as Danny. I was sitting out there. I was dating a lady. We actually stayed. I shouldn't even say dating. We were actually on the verge of getting married, but we stayed together. I was on the balcony smoking a cigar. I told them we were thinking about who Tank's next fight was going to be. It was your Gamboa. I think that's who he had fought. It was somebody like that, whoever he had fought. And then I couldn't think on air. But then when it was all said and done, because I remember Ellerby saying we're going to stay in-house. And I said, you know what? They're going to mess around and fight Rolly Romero. And then I told him, I said, the only reason they may not fight Rolly, because Rolly at the time was like 14-0 with 12 knockouts. I was like, I don't know if they can really, sell that with him having that record being so like, not that many fights. You know what I'm saying? So I said, but they gonna have Rolly gonna be somebody they're gonna fight soon. Lo and behold, later on they announced the Rolly Romero Tank Davis fight. I'm looking at Rolly like this dude is garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like
he's complete garbage, bro. He's like the first fighter I would give a D level at this that we even talk about. I would say he's the only fighter that people talk about that's like a D level fighter.
D level, and I was thinking like at the time when they first announced it, Rolly was talking real crazy and real reckless.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, I said, I don't know if they can really be able to sell this fight the way they want to. And so not too long after, that's when they talking about the allegations on Rolly, and then they had to cancel it or whatever. And then that's when Pitbull came in. But it's other fighters who have far egregious shit against them. Kovalev and all those, they don't be canceling fights because of that. You know what I'm saying? It's not football or basketball or, you know what I'm saying? Like those sports might, or ESPN or something like that. You get an allegation, then next thing you know, you're off the air. It's boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't, ain't nobody tripping off that type of stuff until you like legitimately get convicted or something like that. Maybe you might still fight. I seen Diego Corrales had some rest in peace, but he has some issues and stuff like that too, man.
Yeah, Kovalev apparently broke somebody's nose, broke some lady's nose or something.
I was taking that cat, man. Allegedly.
Allegedly. That's why I said apparently. I'm not going to accuse the guy. I'm not going to say it, but that's what allegedly happened, and the fight still continued. So I guess they cherry pick. Oh yeah, he was definitely guilty of that. but they pick and choose who to cancel and who not to cancel.
Depends. Yeah, but I think in that situation, it was advantageous for them to do that because looking at potential numbers of what the fight would have looked like at that time.
So if there's like a whole case or something like that, it would bring more viewers, I guess.
Well, I don't know if it would. I'm saying at the time, Rolly didn't bring what it is they thought he was going to bring at first. You know what I'm saying? And then they were able to market him better and probably even give him enough to the like when they first had announced that fight, Rolly was he was talking real reckless, man. Like I don't know if you could have had him in some of those press conferences and stuff like that, the way he was talking. I think they need to sit him down and be like, it's you gotta. They kind of schooled him a little bit too. Like you got that part of it. Then also he has like a little shabby record that he had or whatever. So they got to try to promote this thing properly. And so we're gonna go ahead and give him another fighter, and we're gonna use the situation that he had with the female as an excuse as to why we got to cancel the fight.
And Rolly should have he should have 3 L's on his record right now.
Oh yeah.
And he lost to Jackson Mariñez. He got schooled by, like, it was like a 9-3, 10-2 type of fight, and they gave it to him.
That old man whooped him.
And the old man was whipping him, bro. That old man knocked it down, bro. Dude, that's like my great uncle, dude. He freaking beat the crap out of Rolly, and then bro landed a punch on Rolly, and they stopped the fight.
Yeah, that was bad, man. That was bad for Tony Weeks, man. That was real bad.
Tony Weeks got paid big bucks to do that, dude. I don't even want to think about it, because that shit was still boiling my blood, dude. Thinking about that shit.
I'm hearing they may have a rematch or something like that. I read something about that.
Nah, that's not fair to the old gentleman, because it's like he's at the end of his career, man. Yeah, he had a rough life, man, and that's not right that they did that to him. They better if they give him the rematch, they better pay that man $1 million, bro, or more, dude, because that's not fair what they did to him, man. If I was a billionaire, bro, I would slip him $1 million, bro, just for that, dude.
That's what Ryan was saying. He said he gonna whoop on Rolly, and look out for old dude.
I hope Ryan slips him an M, bro, because that's not right what they did to him. They did that old man dirty, man.
Yeah, we getting M's over here, baby. That was what's going right, yeah, boy, Jacobs. We getting M's over here.
Oh yeah. Oh, he makes that. Are you talking about that video when he went up to Charlo's face?
Yeah, man.
So he's like, "Oh, who do we have over here?" That shit was
they need to make that, man.
Dude,
They need to make that, man.
And he was walking in the hallway. Oh, I came at the right time.
Right.
Man, they trying to cash Jacobs out because they trying to put him against Morrell.
What?
Yeah, they're in negotiations right now.
Bro, Morrell might stop.
You might catch a body.
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, Jacobs is in the silk sheets, so he's gonna demand a lot of money. So I don't think after Jacobs fought Canelo, it seemed like he just wasn't hungry to fight.
Yeah.
And what do you call
Look,
it?
He fought pretty good against. I don't know if that was before or after. Was that before when he fought Derevyanchenko? That might have been before.
So he fought Derevyanchenko before he fought Canelo, and he fought a pretty good fight against Derevyanchenko.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was real close, but they both put in work.
He had a good fight against Triple G. Dude, Jacobs is the man, man. Jacobs had a pretty good. I mean, he's still active, but I would say if he retired now, he had a really good career.
Mm-hmm. I hope he retires because it's not going to get better. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think Morrell has like a 78-inch reach, bro. I don't.
I hope he don't take that one. But they are in negotiation. What's called Tio and the kid from Puerto Rico, the lightweight.
Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, Tio and the kid. He's with Top Rank too.
Are you talking about more?
No, but he's a lightweight. Him and Shakur were supposed to fight. They were talking.
Are you talking about Joseph Adorno?
No. He fought Lomachenko. It was a close.
Oh, are you talking about Jermaine Ortiz?
Jermaine Ortiz. Yeah, they're in talks too. Right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Teofimo probably stops them.
He might. Tio, I don't know. I think he could. And then also Tio likes those guys though that are a little bit more like he could because there's gonna be some openings there, but Ortiz is kind of quick too. And I don't like that might throw Tio's timing off. Those guys who are a little bit more stationary, like the African guy he faced, and then also his last opponent. Like if they kind of slow, Tio's a little bit too quick for those guys. He kind of shines against that type of style.
So I've seen Jermaine Ortiz fight twice. I actually seen him. I saw him fight Joseph Adorno. He got knocked down 3 times, bro, and still ended up getting a draw in that fight because he was outboxing Adorno.
Yeah, I saw that too. That's when I thought Westcom was gonna knock him out. I thought Loma.
But he gave a good fight to Loma, man.
Yeah, he was on his game that fight. Yeah, but let me ask this. I promise this is the last thing.
No worries.
Got Matias, Tio, Rolly, And then who's the other champion at 140?
Who?
Isn't Regis the other champ?
Yeah, Regis,
Who
Rolly.
comes out of that? Yeah, who comes out of there?
I think.
I gotta
Ooh.
say Matias, man. That power,
Well,
that power is something else, man.
Wait, I don't know if he leaves the next fight, bro. He's about to fight Ergashev, bro, and Ergashev is 23-0 with 20 knockouts.
Yeah, he got a lot of power.
And to be fair, bro, I think Matias is gonna win that fight, but I would say if there was an upset, I would not be surprised. I would say, but
He was supposed to fight Westcom though, wasn't he? Sergey Lipinets.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that.
That never went through. But Ergashev is a mandatory for IBF for a little bit.
Have you seen him? No, have you seen him fight?
Yes, I have seen Ergashev fight probably like 3 or 4 times.
Is he nice?
He's pretty good. I would say he's pretty aggressive. He's like a boxer puncher, but a little bit more aggressive.
You were saying that the last fight that he had, Matias, you was like you leaned towards Matias, but you were saying that's gonna be a goodie.
And so he fought what was his name?
He was undefeated and whatnot.
He fought Jeremias, and he fought the Argentinian guy. I knew the Argentinian guy was gonna come to fight, and I thought I always thought Matias was the favorite, but Matias absorbed all those shots, bro. And then when the other guy kind of tired himself out in the second half of those 5 rounds, bro, he started teeing off on that guy. So that was a pretty fun fight while it lasted, and I thought I knew it was going to be a good fight, but I've always favored Matias in that one. I mean, yeah, Matias.
Yeah, he was a favorite too, but Matias reminds me kind of like better Beefish. You know what I'm saying? Like with the bone breaking punches that he be throwing. Like you can't sit there with that dude, man. It's gonna be
and Matias push it. He comes forward with his hands down, bro. I'm like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I seen him fight. Him fight live, so that was a good experience.
Did you?
What was that at?
On Gary Russell versus Max Aya undercard last year in Atlantic City.
Oh, okay. Was he putting that work in?
Yes, sir.
He got the stoppage that fight. Yeah. Well, he got stoppage on all his wins. But Matias, what he did to Malik Hawkins was hilarious. Kind of. Do you guys ever see that fight?
Yeah, the dance he did and everything afterwards.
Dude, like he was like going after Malik Hawkins with his hands down. Like he just had his hands down, going after Malik Hawkins and throwing punches from his waist the whole time.
Yeah.
Would it surprise you if Rolly came out of there with the belts? Like if they had a tournament?
Yeah, heck yeah, dude. Dude, that's like. Bro, oh my goodness, dude, that would be like the craziest thing since that would probably be the craziest thing in boxing if that happened. I think Rolly loses his next fight if he fights anyone a little better than that old dude.
Yeah,
but I don't think Matias is the most skilled, but I think his power would just carry him in those fights. But I don't think he's the most skilled out of those 4.
He's not the most skilled, but he's the most entertaining, I will say.
You say you don't think so?
I think Regis Prograis is technically better than him, and also Teofimo is also technically better than him.
Well, then that leads to the next question. Then
I think Teo leaves with everything. To be honest, actually.
Let me see. Let me put this on. Dang, I didn't. Let me see aftermath.
All right, now Teo would be the favorite against Matias, and then Teo would also be the favorite against Regis, and I think Teo would also, yeah. And Teo would obviously be the favorite against Rolly.
Versus who did he fought? Zhang. So then that leads me to this question then. So you saying who you say was the best?
I think Teo would probably be the favorite to win all the belts if they all fought each other.
Okay, so then do you think that Regis versus Devin? So who you liking out?
Let's see.
I
would say if Devin hugs his way to victory, probably Devin. But if he leaves himself open for anything, I think Regis will win. But I would say I think Devin's gonna try to hold him anytime he could. Jab, hold. I think that's just gonna. I'm not saying that's a bad plan. I'm just saying it's probably not gonna be that fun to watch. So I think I have some people in my group chat that say Regis is gonna win, and I think I'm gonna pick Regis to win. But I would not be shocked if Haney just outright outboxes him. But I think the power on Regis is real, and I think that could still be game changing. It can switch it can switch him to his it can switch it into his favor at any time.
Yeah, I got Devin by decision. I just think Devin, he's faster. He's more slick.
If
But
it goes 12, if it goes 12, Devin is gonna definitely win.
Yeah.
See,
And what's the date? What's the date for it now? They push it to what? Is it December?
December 9th.
Yeah, but check this out, man. Like initially, my initial reaction when he was even considering facing Regis, I was concerned because it was fresh off the Loma fight. And the fights that I've seen him face, Devin is typically, with the exception of Linares, he wins like most of the rounds, and he's clean in those rounds as far as like taking punishment. The only fights that I've seen him where he took more punishment than I thought that he should was against lefties. Jojo Diaz had success against them.
A lot. Actually, that was an 8-4-7-5 type of fight.
Right. Loma, you know what I'm saying? And so then you piggybacking off of that.
Regis is a lefty.
He's another lefty. So that's the only reason I'm like, man, like.
I actually didn't even think of that, man. Oh my goodness. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, that's my biggest concern. And then he's the biggest puncher out of all of those guys. You know what I'm saying? So
100%.
Yeah, and Devin might be able to absorb the punches better since he got more weight on him. But,
so Devin Haney's the bigger fighter technically.
Yeah, I've seen Devin fight like 154-pound guys, like in sparring and stuff like that. When he was like not trying to make weight, he looks good. Yeah, he looks good. Like I saw him against an upcoming guy that was really good, like an amateur, and he was putting that work in on him. And he looked more powerful and stronger.
Devin Hayes like 5'8", 5'9", and he's got like 72 reach. And I think Prograis is like 5'8" as well, but he's got like 60-something inch reach. I don't remember what it was. He's gonna have a big reach disadvantage. And they're gonna be like height is gonna be just a little bit in favor in Haney, but reach is gonna be a significant difference.
And they're gonna be in Devin's territory too. You know what I'm saying? You got that. The other thing is Regis is like 33, 34. So constantly being at 140. See, a lot of times, I don't know, you might be right. Devin might just be the bigger dude, but it's not going to be helpful for Regis. I don't like guys who stay at a certain weight and then like you like 33, 34. Like after a certain point, you're a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Like a grown man, not really supposed to be 140. You know what I'm saying? Like you get to a point, all older people get heavier. You know what I'm saying? Because your bone density and just just little things that happen as you age. And so after a while, you're gonna be losing muscle and things like that. So I don't know.
I got the stats in front of my phone. It says Haney's is 5'8" with 71-inch reach, and Regis Prograis 5'8", same height, but has 67-inch reach. So Haney's gonna have a 4-inch reach advantage on Regis Prograis. So I do think that's gonna play a decent role.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you can just based on his last fight, Prograis had a hard time closing the distance.
Man, it's just that guy's style was just so weird, man.
Mm-hmm.
So weird, whatever his name was. His
after he got knocked down, bro, he didn't really fight. The other guy didn't really fight, to be honest.
Mm.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, man. Like some things you're gonna have to throw out the window because the dude he was fighting, he could have like took dude for granted. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who know that guy? He didn't look like much in his previous fights. He was at home, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of, and he was like,
You're right.
So I can't even really. It's like when I looked at football, and you would see a team who you'd be like, dang, they just blew them out, and then they lost to them. And it's like, man, they didn't really take them serious. You know what I'm saying? So even though that's a team sport, I know that's what I'm just saying. Like the guys,
I understand.
Being up, So I think Regis, he's training right now. Like I saw like an interview where he was saying that he's in training right now for the fight. So he's gonna be locked and loaded.
I hope Regis wins. I'm actually a big fan of Regis, and I love his videos. He's like, "Why are you playing around, bro? I already signed my side of the contract. Why are you playing around?" he's about business, man. He's down to business, bro. He just wants to fight, man. And honestly, I hope Prograis wins. I'm gonna pick Prograis to win. I'm gonna pick Prograis by late stoppage.
That'll be interesting. The only reason I'm picking Devin is I think that Regis is one of those guys. He has some talent, but some guys, and I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? I was wrong with the Joe Joyce. I thought that Joe Joyce was going to be able to last longer than he did and be able to get Zhang. And I've been wrong a lot this year. But some guys, like Fulton, like when he went out there, one thing that I'm thinking, I'm like, is Fulton that guy that can handle beating somebody like a New Way and being on that stage? That's a world stage. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
some guys, it's a certain level that they get to, and for some reason they just can't get to that mountaintop. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had the Josh fight where that could have kind of propelled him to being like the man. This fight right here, it's like some guys just can't.
Fulton did everything he could in his power to try to win that fight. He went almost every round. He changed game plans, or he was trying to make different adjustments and stuff. And everything he did, it just didn't work. And so he did everything he could in his power. From what I saw, and from what I was also learning. Jeff, shout out to Jeff. He was like showing me, he was telling me some things and seeing how his perspective, and that's kind of how I basically learned, and I rewatched the fight, kind of saw some of the things he was explaining to me. But yeah, so his feet was just getting to the point faster than Fulton, even though Fulton had the longer reach, and you could see that he was changing game plans. He would approach the fight differently every single round, and then every single time he did it, it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. And so Fulton didn't do anything wrong. He just, I guess, the best of his abilities wasn't able to overcome Inoue.
Absolutely not. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's levels, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes you make it to a certain level, and so it's hard to really prepare for in a new way, because he's bringing some world-class stuff that nobody else can do.
Yep, you can't spar for that. You can't prepare for that unless you're fighting him.
Fighting him, you know what I'm saying? It's like fighting Pacquiao. Now, I know they're different, but Pacquiao's not doing things textbook. It's like certain things that they bring to the table is just world level stuff. It's like making it to that part of the game. It's like shit, and it's hard at first. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to keep doing it to overcome it, but the initial times, like, I ain't never seen no shit like this before.
So how are you supposed to prepare for Manny? It's like he jumps in, hits you with 8 punches, and jumps out. Like, how do you prepare for that?
Yeah, then he can hit you multiple times with shots, but then like the middle shot is the hard shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know which one is going to be the power punch. I've seen him do it. I'm like, man, how in the hell did he knock him down with that punch or knock him out? And it's like he pop, 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 pop. And then the dude is just like, he can't prepare.
But yeah, I 100% agree on that you can't prepare for Inoue.
Yeah, not to say Devin. I'm just saying, when I was talking about Regis, I'm saying like a level that a guy gets to where, like, Regis, like, some dudes to me just like local, national level people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Like, this is going to be the test for him in order to be able to, make it to the next level as far as notoriety. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because Regis been in the game for a long time, and he's been good for a long time. But you ask anybody on the streets who Regis Prograis, they ain't not gonna know who you're talking about. Like, I go to the gym, they asking me like, I remember when it was talking about the Four Kings, and it was talking about Devin, it was talking about Tank, and it was talking about all those guys. So some people do know about him. You know what I'm saying? Is he gonna be able to like beat somebody at that next level? Is what I'm.
So
hey, check this. Hey,
go ahead.
Let me cap on that. Hey, well, and I read a post where the dude where Regis just won a fight, and he was out to dinner or somewhere, and people in the restaurant didn't even know who he was, and this was in his own hometown.
I did hear about that. You're the one that told me about that. I wanted to mention that, actually. Yeah, that was yeah. So like he was like, he'd be in his hometown and people don't even know who he is.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And so what was it? What I wanted to say was something about Prograis. I kind of lost my thought. He turned pro at 16, 17. Not turned pro. He started boxing 16, 17 years old. So he was, or even a little older. I don't remember or 20 years old. I don't remember how old he was. He was between the ages. So he actually just started doing training boxing really late and turned pro in his mid-20s, I think.
Yeah, well, no, that was before that. It had to be before. You talking about program?
The program, yeah. So
because he said that he used to drive to the gym with the Charlos, like with amateurs.
Let me see, because I know he said he started really late in boxing.
Yeah, he may have started later, but he definitely was before that because he said that that's how him and Mel and Jamal they cool because he had moved to Houston, and then they used to pick them up. And then
16.
Yeah,
he started at 16 years old. He started boxing at 16.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of late. I mean he got power and stuff like that. Got a little slickness to him. I don't like how he be having his hands down and stuff like that. But and he's a little slippery. But I think that I would be cautious. But I think I don't know. And Devin, he got me worried because when he fought against Loma, the comments that he made. But then again, I don't know because Tio had me worried when he was talking about do I still got it. So I don't know. These little dudes, man, they be saying some good stuff. When because he came back to the corner and he was like, it's like you know what it is I'm about to do. When he was talking about Loma, he was like, he already know what I'm about to do, and he didn't have no adjustments for what Loma knew what he was gonna do. And so I'm like, damn, man, like you that before. I'm not like these. They say certain things I never heard professional fighters say in the past. I never heard Sugar Ray say stuff like that. I never heard Duran or I never heard.
Is that about Haney said that or
he said that like it was like the 10th, like when Loma started to pick it up and start like being successful against Haney, he went to the corner. He told his daddy, he said he's like he already know what it is I'm gonna do. He know what I'm doing. Yeah, like so make the adjustment, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember that. He was like, he knew my move or something like that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And then it got worse. Like then Loma had more success. Like he like you know how you had that body language like you kind of gave up. Like he know what I'm doing. Like I'm just going through the motions now.
Yeah.
So I'm checking what the general public thought that fight was 115, 113 for Lomachenko. How did you guys have that fight?
I wasn't scoring it, but I thought that it was not scoring it like I didn't score it like.
How did you like? What did your gut? What you were watching?
That's what I'm getting to. So I didn't score it like round by round, right? But my gut told me this was that Devin was successful early. Loma came on. I just felt that you fighting for the undisputed championship. I just thought that Loma had to do more in order to get the undisputed championship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought he may have won, but it was close. You know what I'm saying? I just thought that he had to give me a little bit more in order to say, yeah, you the undisputed champion now, sir.
I would say if they fought when they were talking that apparently Loma ducked or whatever, if they had fought then, I think Lomachenko would have won that fight.
I think so. The only thing that the argument against that is the fact that Devin, to me, the longer he's been staying, he looked more sensational to me before. When I saw him fight against, I think up until the last part, because he was whooping the hell out of Linares until he got caught. But it seemed like I'm not blaming anything on that exchange. I'm just saying that it looks like his time in that weight division.
He looked like a skeleton the second fight against Kambosos. He looked like a skeleton.
Right. So when you're saying that when they were supposed to fight before, you were going to get a more spry Devin Haney. So I don't. But then again, at the same time, if Lomachenko figured him out now later in his career when he's supposed to be a little bit more seasoned, I'm sure he would have figured him out then too. You know what I'm saying? When he was more green.
Yep. And actually, I've seen videos of Haney saying it's not that easy to make 135. I think he's never had an easy time making 135. To be honest, he said I can make it, decently, but it's not easy.
Yeah, for the right fight, for the right money. Like I think only now he will make it for Tank because that's a big money fight.
Yeah, and I would say besides that, he would have really no other reason to make 135.
Yeah. What about you, Ty?
But I felt, Loma did win the fight, but Haney was putting that work in, man. He was doing real good with that body work. But I
Oh yeah,
felt
that body
Loma
work
edged it.
was nice. I would say
Yeah,
the body work from Devin Haney was pretty clean.
yeah, he was doing some good work, but I just felt Loma just edged it. But I'm not mad about the decision. I mean, but I always did in the back of my mind. I always did think like Haney's the younger guy. He got more to offer to the sport. So, but I just felt that Loma edge. Everybody has different opinions on it, man. But it hurt me just to see him break down like that, man.
Yeah, that was sad to watch.
But I'm hearing that Loma and Cambosis could be a fight happening in the future.
Cambosos does not deserve any more easy money fights, bro. Oh my god, Cambosos is gonna lose that fight 100%, but he doesn't. Dude, after the shenanigans he pulled with that rematch, that pointless rematch with Haney, I'm just like, man.
When I was still with him, when
When?
Cambosos, when he was fighting Tia, he seemed like a stand-up guy. But then when he was fighting Devin, I'm the emperor, he had the black glove.
He got Teofimo on a bad night, dude. Teo wins that fight 99 out of 100 times, and
Yeah.
and if he had given Haney a better fight, I would have said maybe not, but he completely got outworked by
Cambosis.
but I think Teofimo got too much in his feelings, and
Facts.
and if it wasn't for that, if Teofimo was just 10% better, he would have won that fight.
Yeah,
And
too much animosity, in the build up, man. He was
yeah,
just ready to go in there and let out that steam, man.
he fight like a dumbhead that first round. That's how he got caught, bro. I'm just like,
Facts.
why is he squared up and throwing every punch in the like that, bro? I'm just like, oh my goodness.
No, do you know what happened with Tio? The biggest thing that was going on with him was that lady left him.
He was not mentally because of that. He was having marital issues, and then
he was out of there, bro. Like he was really like head over heels for that lady, man. He had put everything. It was like love at first sight sort of thing, and then she just like
and now she took half of his stuff. So
half his stuff. That's why he be talking so erratic. Like it don't make any sense.
He's like, I only got $1 million. I'm like, what? I'm like, what?
Right.
He's like, and I'm like, all right, bro. A lot of the I want to say, I know it's slightly off topic, but I will say I really hate when fighters use the excuse, I'm risking my life. That's why I'm not taking the fight for only $10 million. I'm like, dude, there's construction workers out there working on the roofs that are not making $10 million, bro, and they risk their lives every single day, bro. Don't give me that bull crap that you're just pricing yourself out, bro. That's my take on that. I'm like almost so many jobs out there have risks, have arguably worse risks than boxing. Don't give me that bull crap of I'm not taking $10 million because, or I'm not taking, or only $1 million, dude. You're getting paid 10 times more. You're getting paid the top 1% inside in the country for anything, bro. It's just like, for boxing. So there's people.
My thing. I don't mean to cut you off, but I was gonna say my thing about that though is you're a fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like you decided to go ahead and fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was your decision to do that. You can't sign up for the military and then be like, I'm not going into combat because I might get killed. Like,
exactly. Can you imagine? Like, I'm not gonna go in combat unless you give me $1 million. Like, bro,
Chris, like let him do construction work and get his paycheck. He can be like, hey, put me back in boxing, man.
Exactly. I'm not saying I'm not by any means. I'm not crapping on nobody's job. A lot of these guys can make a good living doing construction, but I'm just saying 99% of jobs are not going to pay $1 million. So, and there's riskier jobs that only pay 1/20th of $1 million. So what I'm saying is, no, my life is at risk for you pulling out of the fight because they're not paying me, bro. Just take the fight, take the $2-3 million, bro. If you're smart, you don't have to work a day. You can buy commercial real estate and you'll never have to work a day of your life, rest of your life, bro.
But that's what I was saying as far as like with Tio, some of the erratic things that he was saying. I attribute that to what he was
going through the marriage.
With the marriage, man, because I know, because even when I go to that place, I keep telling you about the little sports bar joint.
Yeah.
I talk to guys. Like even yesterday, I'm talking to a dude who's in that space where his lady left him, and it's like you in a bad space mentally, psychologically. Stuff that you say, it just don't register. Like you try to talk them through the situation, like, dude, like you being a fool right now. But when those emotions and stuff like that attach, like when you really give yourself to somebody and it don't go right, it takes a long time for the average person to overcome that. And I can see that.
And then when you earn $1 million, you lose 33% or 40% of it to tax, and then you got to give half of that, 60%, to someone who just left you.
You see what's going on with Charlo. Like Charlo is not the same. Man. Like he just totally like what they say, Solomon, man. You know, I don't know if you read them stories in the Bible. Like a woman can just go ahead and get you, man. Like if you put everything, you have good intentions, and then when your heart is like you have your heart. And then as soon as they end up, especially, and then women are so vindictive, or when they scorn, like they really go for the jugular. Like you talking about him saying that he put his life on the line, like they will put you to the brink of you being on your life on the line, because it's like you want to give up, because they gonna, if they get to that point where they trying to hurt you for whatever reason that they feel like you did to them, or they trying to do something else and they trying to get away, they are horrible, man. Like they horrible on the man. And I saw that because I saw when they did he was about to fight somebody. They were like love at first sight and like inseparable. And I'm like, damn. And then the next time he's about to fight, it was on social media, like the stuff that she did, like who she was messing with. Like she not only did she leave him, she was messing with like these black dudes who was like nailing her. Like she was just like doing stuff like that. And so
wait, this happened to Teofimo Lopez?
Yes, before he fought George Kambosos. That's what I'm saying. Like so,
that's what happened, dude. I didn't even know the whole story, bro.
That's what. So when he was saying the stuff about black fighters, like recently, he been saying stuff like if ESPN wanted their black fighters, like some people attributing that to like his wife, messing with the black guys that she was messing with. Like they was
that confirmed? Like she actually did that?
That's what I'm gonna say allegedly, but I'm just saying like that's what the way they put it seemed like that. Like the way I saw like what they were saying and how discombobulated T.O. was. Like I say, when I heard him, he was about to fight. What's that dude name?
Nakatani?
No, when he fought something.
Sandor Martin.
Sandor Martin, when he was going to fight Sandor Martin. That's why if you listen to the interview, T was all over the place. Like I'm saying, like the press conferences, he wasn't making any sense at all. It was to the point where before the Josh Taylor fight, people were saying that he needs some like help. Like that's one of the main reasons why everybody was picking Josh Taylor. Like, nah, that's not a good thing. Sandor Martin almost whooped on him. Then he's talking all crazy and stuff like that.
So I mean, like losing half your money and then getting cheated on by multiple people. That
getting cheated on. Not only that, but go watch him before he was. That might have been. It could have been the. It could have been that RC fight that he had. It was one of those fights. They showed them like him, and when she was a stewardess or something like that. They met. They fell in love. They were together every day. She had a baby, and it seemed like maybe she had. You know how women have like postpartum, whatever they call that shit after. Maybe that's what I don't know. But she went in a total different direction where she wasn't fucking with him anymore. And so that just he had everything he was doing at one point was for his family, like his wife, his kid, and everything. And then to have that taken away from you, like just like that, when you like vocal and you like he was saying the right stuff before.
And he would also, he said he was fighting for his kid in court or something like that too.
Yeah, man.
At the same time.
Like and unfortunately, like you fellas, I think Ty got him a good solid foundation. But if you don't have that and you just out here trying to like mess around and date these women, you sense that quick. Like it's hard out here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you can be in a situation where, imagine that, Teofimo Lopez, damn near the undisputed champion, young, handsome young man. You know what I'm saying? Gregarious, got everything going for him. You have all of that, and then it's like you have somebody who like wanna like they want something else, or they think that this is not enough, or you like, what the hell do you want? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know what you got me thinking about, man? You got me thinking about Remy Ma and Papoose, man.
Remy Ma, Papoose, you got Jeezy, you got what's my guy name? Shumper. They like him, like this is nutty, bro.
You know, like the thing is, I mean, I don't know what Pat was doing when Remy was locked up and everything, but they said he held it down, you know, when she got out, you know, he married her and everything. So like hearing about them kind of came as a shocker to me, man.
He went to go see the lady. The lady got locked up 2008. They said for the first year, the man went to the prison every day. Wow. He married the lady, holding everything down, got on one knee, having a family with the lady, supporting her all throughout this process, not messing around. She comes out, black love. We have a kid. We got. See, now if she messing with that dude, they saying she messing with. Like, shame on you, man. Like that don't even make it's tough out here. She's like 45, 46 years old, making a move like that. What can you do? You know what I'm saying? And then eventually, where's he gonna be? Like you putting all of this effort in, you can't treat a woman better than how he treated her. I mean, he treated her like she was royalty, like she was a queen, like she's like a goddess.
Yeah. Hey, like when I first heard the news, like, cause you know I've been a Pat fan for a long time. Like I'm talking about like when he first came on the scene, like when he was dropping on mixtapes, man, Pat was that dude, man. Like so this came like this kind of hurt me in a sense, man.
I think this was before my time. All this stuff. I think
it was early, like 2000, like it was like 2005, like when Pat.
I was like 6 years old. It's maybe 7.
Yeah, Pat was on that mixtape grind, man. Like grinding with them mixtapes. Like Pat had this flow.
And so I guess we have to put ourselves in these guys' shoes, Teofimo's shoes. You won't perform your best if you're going through something like this.
Nah, man, you can, because you check this out though. See, what a lot of people don't remember. So when Floyd was about to fight Madonna that first time, see, Floyd looked at Madonna like he was food, because he like, okay, this dude coming from 140, I'm fighting at 147. He really don't have the type of skills. I know what Floyd was thinking. On top of that, though, what people don't remember, Floyd was about to marry Miss Jackson. Miss Jackson cheated on Floyd. She was fucking with Nelly. And then I can tell like that was the only time I seen like Floyd used to go through a lot of dysfunction. Like LeBron had a lot of that type of stuff too. Like there's always some controversy going on, but then they'll perform. You'd be like Kobe too. Like Kobe's going through that rape stuff. Kobe go and get 81. Like he just balling. Like that was like his sanctuary or whatever. But that one moment when he had that lady who that's the only lady I ever seen Floyd like with, like this is my lady, Miss Jackson, and all that.
Yep.
You remember that? So that fight is when she ended up like leaving him. And then it was like the Nelly type thing that was going on. It seemed like it was affecting him. I can kind of tell, like even in the locker room and stuff like that, he just didn't seem right. You know what I'm saying? Like that can have this hold on your like greatest.
And that could have affected her, because I don't think he won that fight, but he definitely, it was a what do you call it? Maidana won 5 rounds at least. I would say no. He probably won. That's the max he won. It's like 5 rounds. He gave Floyd a fairly hard time the first half of that fight.
He put work on Floyd in those first rounds. But hey, well, that's a good point, man. I forgot all about that situation. Yeah, cause I can't remember if it was 24/7 or All Access, but he was on there talking about the lady and everything. So yeah, I think he was in love with that lady, man. Yeah, I remember that situation, man.
Looking back on that, Floyd was oh man.
Yeah, man. Like I say, it's and that kind of see when you go through those type of situations, you know, it changes you either for the better, or it's gonna change you. I can't say for better or whatever, but so you don't see Floyd like that too much anymore, because you kind of like you don't see him like outwardly showcase a female or anything like that, because now he's protecting himself more. You know what I'm saying? Because they were about to get married.
Yeah.
And he was like supposed to have a kid with her or something like that. And I think the situation was she didn't want to have a kid. That was on her part though. Like
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, good
But
point.
money
bro.
made.
Oh man, dude, I didn't even know about all this stuff, man. You guys are teaching me things.
Yeah, man. Like that's
Yeah. He was in love with that lady, man, Miss Jackson. She was a nice looking lady too, man. Nice looking lady, yeah.
She was nice looking, but you know, I don't know. Every man, you know what I'm saying? Like,
So I'm just like, if Floyd couldn't keep him being a billionaire couldn't keep his lady, bro.
what do you want? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about Remy and Pat. I was like, this man did everything, like held it down while he was in prison. That's different. So like I said, like it's a shocker, man. But that's some good points, man. You brought up, man.
Yeah, it's hard because everybody, you never know, like all relationships really, but that's his wife though. But most relationships, unless you like married, it's really just a verbal agreement. Like whatever you think is more like heart wise, you in it, you invest in that type of stuff, but it's just really a verbal agreement. And some people breach that verbal agreement because they go through different paths in life. Like somebody might get more like Remy. Remy could be thinking, shit, I lost 8 years of my life. I need to get back those 8 years of what I missed. And so she might be going in that direction, whereas he's just trying to build on the foundation of their marriage and what the sanctity of marriage is all about. And she's kind of veering off. They could possibly get back together. I don't know, but I'm just saying that just seemed messed up that he held her down that long and she decided to go in that direction. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But that's how it is, man. You just never know, like especially with women. This is the last thing I'm gonna say.
Well, before you get to, I was to be fair, we don't know 100% what goes down. I mean, you can have an idea and everything, but to be fair to I guess whoever we're talking about, we don't know exactly what happens behind closed doors. But I guess based on from the jail thing and holding it down and stuff, I mean, you got to give the guy some type of credit, I guess, you know. But I would say we don't know 100% behind closed doors. But I just wanted to throw it out there. We do not know 100%, but I would probably take their side on it though.
There's two things that I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna leave it at this. One, like for dudes now, see the way society is frowned upon for a man to be able to lead his household. Because then it makes it seem like the female is being submissive, and that's frowned upon in our society now, even though that's what marriage was based on in the first place. It's like I don't know if you guys watched the Barbie movie, like that's taboo. Like for a dude, like you toxic, you've been a toxic male by thinking that you're supposed to lead, but then you really can't have a relationship move forward in a proper way if you don't have somebody who's women want somebody who they can lead them, but then if you can't outwardly lead, because then it looks toxic in that manner, and then everything that's like social media is pushing her away to something else that's destructive to the relationship. You know what I'm saying? So subconsciously it's like it's a tug of war, and unless you got that strong foundation and strong-minded people that's together, then it's somehow, some way, it could go in the opposite direction. And then if you got somebody, and a lot of times you got these dudes who are high-profile guys. If you just, I mean, sometimes some guys are just so good at what it is that they do, and they just so like outstanding at it that it'll affect them. But at the same time, they just this good and they locked in, and they put so much work in that they gonna go ahead and perform. They're gonna use that as fuel. Like some people can do that, or some people are just gonna mess them up, and they gonna end up
and they fall off.
They'll fall off. You know what I mean? You just never know. It was something else that I was gonna say. I forgot what the point I was gonna make. But that's tricky, man. That's tricky.
Oh, 100%, and 100. I agree with you on what you were saying. Yeah, I would say negativity from social media has played a big role on our society for sure.
Media, TV, movies. Like I say, watch that Barbie movie, man. I went to go see it.
Is it cringe? Is it cringe?
It's just so you have this one character. So Barbie, they saying that is bad because Barbie is in a box. You see, like she has to be beautiful. Like a Barbie has to be beautiful. They have to fit a certain image. They gotta it's certain things that they can't do, or they'll seem this way. If a woman is in leadership, she is certain way she has to conduct herself. If she does too much, then they say that she's trying to overextend her power because she's a female, so she has to show that. It's like a whole bunch of stuff, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the dudes, they make them out to be kind of barbaric. You know what I'm saying? And then the women are really, at the end of the day, women kind of show them how they should really conduct themselves in society. So you got Will Ferrell. Once he learned, like he's Mr. Mattel. He's the CEO of the company. And so by the time they end up working on him being the CEO, he said, "Oh man, it's so refreshing. Like these new ideas that I have, and I'm in tune with my sensitivity and everything." He said, "Really, when I have meetings, I don't really want to be mean to you guys. I just want to go ahead and have us all get together. I just want to have us come together and tickle each other. You know."
Well, I don't think. Okay, here's the thing. That's people. I think it's not aggression. I don't think people should be passive or aggressive. You should be assertive. Like get your point across. Be serious, and and be strong and stuff like that. But like, there's a difference between getting your point across and and being like, all right, we're gonna if you're in a meeting, like you can't be all nice to all the guys because then they'll walk all over you, right? And so, but you can't be aggressive because nobody wants to work with aggressive. But if you take like, all right, this is how we're gonna do it, this and that, what are your guys' thoughts? Da, 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 da. But he'll be like, oh, it's okay, it's okay. You can't. And I guess in a work environment, if you're trying to be like the CEO and stuff, you kind of have to put your foot down, I guess, or else all your employees are not going to listen to you. So it's like
you fine line, man. You know.
So it's like you can't be like, all right, if you don't do as I say, I'm gonna punch you in the face. You can't do that, right?
Right.
And I think one side is like taking assertiveness as like I'm gonna punch you in the face rather than no, I'm just saying, hey, this is how it's gonna go down, and you can choose to leave or you can choose to follow.
You know what I found out in our society, the only people that they really have a problem with is straight dudes who like women. Everybody else can do what it is that they want to do. You got, like, if you are, and I don't have anything against like homosexuals and things. I don't have any problem with that. Like you are who you are. What I learned in life is that people who are good people are good people. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be straight and then just be a bad person. I can't mess with you. You can be somebody who, like I said, I don't care if you lick a pole or I mean you suck a hole or you lick a pole. You understand? That's your business. You understand what I'm saying? But the point is this though, in society, like everybody can get away with whatever it is. They're gonna honor that and they're gonna support that. You know what I mean? But like males, like straight males, if you come across as somebody who you're a chauvinistic pig, if you do these things, you like certain things, say you come across a certain way, but everybody else, they have inappropriate behavior that they exhibit. If I exhibit that same inappropriate behavior, then I be looked frowned upon. For instance, you can have a person who come out here who say that they're they bisexual, whatever. They can go to a parade, damn near have all of their stuff out, kissing each other, and oh yeah, the gay pride or whatever. If I do that, then that's like TMI or what? Too much public displays of affection. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
I don't agree with either. Like I don't want to see anybody doing that. Like for instance, like the Lizzo chick. Now I don't know what she goes. But sometimes she'll be out there, got her tail out and stuff like that. And then if you say something about it, it's like, oh, you fat shaming me, or this or that, or you body shaming me. No, that's inappropriate behavior, man. Like we don't want to see that from anybody. Like at a basketball game, you bent over, your crack is showing, and all that type of stuff. And that's a lot of times when I see those pride parades and stuff like that, they out there doing way too much. If I say something about it, then I'm bashing. But I don't want to see that anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna do that, don't like get a room. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to see that type of stuff. So that's all. I don't want to get too we're getting too political right now.
No, you're good. You're good. No, you're good. I fully understand.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, sometimes it's good, to change the subject from boxing, man. So like we just chopping it up, man, chatting, just talking. So
yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, let me run through them comments real quick, man. I just want to send somebody a link. They saying they want to come in the chat. All right, let me just run through these real quick. William Byron, he said almost 300 subscribers. William Byron's my guy, man. We've been in the building for a lot of some fights. Who shout out to William Byron? Technique. He says Joyce got flattened again.
Yes, sir, he did.
Flatline.
He said the Juggernaut.
The Juggernaut. Oh my god.
Juggernaut.
Funny.
Yeah, he said big goofball. He said
you gotta respect Joyce, man, for running it back like that, though.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says he was dental Waddle after Fury. I'm not sure what he's trying to say.
He was in denial.
I guess that's what he's trying to say. He says Wilder needs to take a leaf out of Errol Spence's book, Lose Like a Man. Well, he's already lost.
No, he's saying he might be making excuses or something like that for the Fury.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, got you.
That's
I don't
true.
know who he is, though. I've never seen him before, but I told him sub to the channel.
Nah, I think Derek James spiked Spence's water, bro. I think that's what happened.
I told you what happened, man. You go back when I first got on. I told you what happened with the Errol Spence and Terrence.
No, I was making fun of Wilder, bro. I wasn't making fun of Spence.
Terrence Fury. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, one last thing I wanted to touch on before we about the other thing, bro. I wanted to say you know what? I'll tell you off camera. It's funny.
I just want anybody else that's listening, man, who want to know about the truth, man, just listen to this real quick.
Oh, definitely. That's the fight that I want. That's the fight everybody else want. And like I said, I'm gonna get these straps and I'm gonna go over there and take his shit too.
Yeah.
What you mean, bro? That's fake news, bro. That was a Spence clone, bro. The real Spence didn't say that. What do you mean?
No, the Spence clone was July 29. That's the one that showed up. They kidnapped my boy, man. We'll see in December, though, man. If I was Crawford, what I'd do, I'd hurry up and jump on it because I think the same thing. Like he's gonna be like today. Joyce to me was damaged goods already because he was beaten up pretty bad in that last fight. He only had like 4 or 5 months to prepare. Like you need more time than that. Like
no, actually, because back in the day, guys used to fight 4 or 5 times a year. So actually, I don't think you need that much time to prepare. To be honest with you, I said from the injury.
No, it's not the guys used to fight, but it's the psychological damage.
Okay. So after a loss, you need more time after a loss.
Especially a loss, like Spence got beat up. Like I'm not even sure.
So
second round, I don't care. Even if at this point, let's say for instance he was depleted as far as his weight and stuff like that. The cut, like he was weak. He took so much damage that even now, if he's back like at a weight where he's not like dehydrated, he psychologically you was getting beat up, and then also Crawford being somebody who's such a sharpshooter who he calculates data. So now he already knows what he's dealing with Spence because he saw it already. So he got the data already going into the fight. So if I was Crawford, I'd jump right on this. Like, yeah, let's go ahead and sign this up because dude is already damaged goods, and I know what the hell I'm like.
So do you actually want to see that? So if Crawford finally says, all right, we'll do it at 154 in December, would you want to see that fight?
I do. I would want to see it. I don't want to see Errol fight anybody else outside of Crawford. After that, I'm done because that's the fight that I wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I didn't want it under those circumstances. I was hoping. I knew. Listen, man. I knew that once Crawford was going to be more willing to take the fight, once Spence decided that he was going to sit out and just wait for him. If you look at the Ugas fight, so people will say this. They'll say, well, he had the same amount of time that he had against Danny Garcia than he did Ugas. For one, that's a foolish statement because then what you're telling me is that he had 2 fights in damn near 3 years. Like, that's worse. The other thing about that is that if you look at the Ugas fight, the first 2 or 3 rounds, he didn't look like it took him some time to go ahead and get himself together, like to get into the fight. Once he got into the fight, then he was in the fight.
He looked like vintage Spence against Danny Garcia and Ugas to me.
Look at the first couple, like the first round or 2. It took him some time to get adjusted into the fight, is what I'm saying. Now, he did start looking like vintage Errol Spence, but at the same time, anytime that a guy, That's what I'm talking about. Regis Progress. I don't know when he's gonna hit that proverbial fork in the road. There's always a time when the guy stays at a weight class too long. You don't know when it's gonna show up. I also knew, and I'm not making an excuse for Earl, I was concerned. Frank Martin, he said that he was with Errol Spence. He said, Errol is ready. He said, man, we just went for an 8-mile run the other day. This was fight week. I'm like, what the hell is that you talking about? Like, why are you doing all this type of stuff? I don't know what was going on. That man didn't look like the Errol Spence. Like, he looked smaller. He looked weaker. He looked sleepy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I will say this. I thought usually when I was watching Spence on the come up, bro, he looked really huge at 154. But for some reason, in this fight, he just looked like only like maybe 70% of his size. Maybe. I don't know. He didn't fill
Bud
out.
looked bigger than him. Like, Bud look. I'm like, damn. It's like when I saw, like, you was probably like in diapers and shit. So I was watching the rematch. Like, so when Evander Holyfield fought Mike Tyson, remember Evander Holyfield? If you
What year was that?
This was like 96. Around two.
I wasn't even born.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So when Mike Tyson fought against Evander Holyfield, the first fight. Now I always thought that Evander Holyfield was gonna give him some run for his money. Like I always thought that because I knew that Evander Holyfield was somebody that you had to whoop. Mike Tyson was intimidate dudes, and then they had, like as soon as he touched them, they would go and fall down. Like you're not gonna be able to do that against Evander Holyfield. That's a whole nother conversation. But the point is, when they first fought, they both looked like they supposed to look, right? Like, you know, Vander looked like he was, Mike Tyson like he was. The second time they fought, like Mike was supposed to get his get back. Evander Holyfield looked big as hell against, like, I'm like, damn, like, what the hell is going on? Like, you know, Evander Holyfield was a religious guy. Like, did he pray to be bigger? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what the hell was going on, but he just looked so much bigger. And that's when I'm looking at Spence and Crawford. I'm thinking that it's going to be the opposite, where Spence is looking bigger than Crawford. He's at least had those advantages. Like, he didn't even have that. So,
It looked like, to me, it didn't look like, this is just my opinion. It didn't look like Spence didn't rehydrate well for that fight. I don't know. He still looked dry. Like, you know how a fighter has time to eat and then gain some weight for fight night or whatever? It didn't look like Spence hydrated that well, to be honest. And because I usually see like a huge back, he's got like a big wide back when he fights. It's like when I've watched him fight Danny Garcia, when I watched him fight even I would say Ugas, and before I would just say, I don't know, for some reason it was just me. I try to tell other people like, yo, why doesn't Spence look, he looks smaller, like, just to me. And then I'm like, and I'm a Terrence Crawford fan, right? I'm like, I've always been pro Terrence Crawford. I always thought Terrence Crawford was going to win that fight regardless, even back in 2018. I always thought that. But just to tell you my perspective, but I thought on fight night Spence looked a lot smaller than he normally did. And I felt like I started feeling like I was tripping a little bit because I was telling other people, and they're like, "Nah, he's fine. He's fine. What are you talking about?"
He damn near fucked up my summer, man. Like, I'm like, that's what.
Oh no.
Yeah, the summer was going so good that they couldn't mess it up. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of action, man, a lot of motion.
And I would say almost every major YouTube channel was picking Spence to win that fight.
Nah, I must admit, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they were to me were way too overconfident. Like a lot of those stations, and then somebody made a video of the excuses that they started making after the fight was over with, which is funny as hell. But they were way too confident. Now I thought that Errol would win. You know what I'm saying?
How did you feel about the odds? How did you feel about the odds that that they had Errol Spence as the slight underdog before anything?
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, but like the thing for me with Bud Crawford, I just never seen Bud fight anybody. His resume was not that swift. And I saw Spence put in work against top welterweights. And so I'm just looking at that. I'm looking at their fight style, and I saw Bud get clipped a few times, and
I seen. Yep.
His legs responded kind of a little shaky, but he always get dudes out of there. But so I don't, it's like 50-50 to me. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like,
that's the thing. I was like, I look, that's the when in 2018, I didn't think that fight was that close between Spence and Crawford. But as the years went by, and seeing Crawford technically get dropped by Mean Machine, and and seeing a lot of that stuff, I started thinking the fight was going to be closer and closer and closer as the years progressed. I'm like, all right, it seems like Crawford's getting caught with extra shots. This was at 135, but he got hurt by Gamboa and stuff like that. So I started thinking, all right, he can be caught. So I'm like, this fight is probably a little closer than I'm thinking. I still think Crawford should be the slight favorite, but I think but I always had the opinion as Crawford would win the fight, and but I thought it was closer and closer as the years went by, as I was seeing both of them fight, and you would see Spence dominate these top welterweights, and Crawford dominate okay welterweights, and so you would think Spencer had by far the better resume at 147, right? And you just based on, okay, Crawford's looking good against okay welterweights, and then Spencer's looking good against great welterweights. So you would think just by resume, you would think Spence would have the advantage. But I would say based on what I was seeing, like with the footwork and stuff like that, I always thought Crawford would have had the slight edge. Just because I thought he always moved faster, and just based on the eye test, I thought he always moved a little faster than Spence. But if you were just comparing resume, fighter, you know, like on paper, Spence has the far better resume, and you would say on paper you would think Spence would win the fight just based on the competition he's fought. I would say.
No, I mean you got to factor in a lot of shit though too.
I know.
Like
And of course.
Resume is one. No, I hear what you're saying. I'm just adding in addition to that. Then you're thinking about like layoffs and who's been more. And then you think about outside of the ring, you got Spence with the accidents and stuff like that. Then you can factor in weight, you know what I'm saying, like that sort of thing. Then you also factor in some other things outside that took place like that. Like Spence has some stuff. Now he's more of a family guy, you know what I'm saying? Like he seems like he got a little ranch.
Oh, that's what happened to Adam Kownacki. He had a kid, bro, and he was never the same.
And so, well, I think that in his case, it benefited him because the lifestyle that he had before he got with the lady who he's with now, it was he wasn't gonna last, not in Dallas, because it's a guy, Mo 3. Mo 3 was a rapper who got killed on Highway 75 in Dallas. Mo 3 and Spence had a run-in with each other where they stayed in the same complex in downtown Dallas. And so when what the rumors is that when Spence flew off that bridge off of Highway 30, that Mo 3 was after him. That's the reason why he was.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and then the other guy that he hangs with, Yellow Beezy, they have beef with each other. What's Come has a song called "The Truth," Mo 3, before he got killed. And so they're saying that that's like a little diss towards Errol Spence. He was cold. He was a cold little rapper, man, but he was a real street dude. But they said Spence, what happened is what ended up, they said Spence would go to the club and get drunk, and then Yellow Beezy would get into it with somebody, and Spence might whoop the person that he get into it with. And they saying like, dude, you a boxer, man. Like, don't be getting in his stuff. And so Mo 3 was like a real street dude. So he was on Spence bumper. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like, and he had pistols and stuff like that. So he ran into him somewhere. Spence was drunk. And then he ended up, Spence left up out of there because he didn't know what he was going to do. And that's the reason why he had that situation.
So, and Spence, I guess partially another reason why I guess maybe he didn't show up 100% because he also wasn't living 100% of a life. Like you were saying, he wasn't living the fighter's lifestyle. You know, drinking.
Again, like I think, like I said, like now, I think like after the accident stuff like that, he got his ranch and he out there on horses and stuff like that. He
even when they asked him after the Danny Garcia fight, they were like, he was like, "All right, what is your next plan?" He was like, "I just want to be on my ranch. I don't even want to think about the next fight."
Yeah, I was gonna mention that. earlier.
But also Crawford had an accident himself. He got shot in the head.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
He was lucky. Honestly, he was lucky he didn't die from that, to be honest. He drove himself to the hospital.
Yeah, that was crazy. I remember hearing that years ago. That was crazy, man. Getting shot. I think he said he got shot in the car.
He got shot in the back of the head.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
and then still be doing, and then still be boxing. Like
Yeah, it's
after that.
like after, depending on the angle of the bullet, it's like sometimes if you get hit in the head the right way after getting shot, like that could end your life.
Facts, man. I mean, did he get shot by a BB gun or something?
No, it was like a real bullet, but I think it entered and exited without hitting his brain. So it's like
them boys in Omaha can't shoot, man. You know what
oh my goodness, bro! We got the hardcorest Errol Spence fan, dude. Dude, you're as much of an Errol Spence fan as I'm a David Benavidez fan.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that too, man. Like Chris, the biggest Benavidez fan. You the biggest Spence fan. I was gonna mention that earlier.
You still there, Wilton?
No, I'm here. I'm just. I'm getting right to my sports bar, man. I gotta go over there and get my little cocktail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
But yeah, man, it's like, you know what, bro? It's just, I hate it when people talk crazy about Benavidez, bro.
Well, there was somebody that said he was getting ready for it. Like they was trying to put. I can't remember, man.
Android?
Android, yeah.
No,
yeah, that's almost Chris.
They're saying it's gonna be in November.
25th, 25th or 24th.
24th, 25th, something like that. And they're saying Jermall Charlo versus his brother is gonna happen. That's what the rumor is.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard that, Wilton, but yeah, that's the rumor that Maul's gonna be fighting
Jose Benavidez Jr.,
the brother, on the undercard.
Oh, that's whack.
How's that whack?
You said Jamal?
Jermall.
Yeah, Jamal.
Yeah, against Jose.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Jose, like he just fought Danny Garcia.
Right.
No, he fought Danny Garcia. Then he took a tune-up fight just a couple months ago. And then he got a quote unquote. He fought a guy who's like 35 and like 10 or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but he fought at 147 before. He ain't really that big enough.
No, he just fought at 154. No, Jose Benavidez Jr. just fought at 154.
What I'm saying is he fought Crawford at 147.
He's
powerful at 154, and so they fight at 160 or 168.
160. They're probably gonna. My guess. Okay, they said it's gonna be for the WBC title, but my guess, it's gonna be a 10-rounder at a catch weight because Charlo's probably not gonna be able to make 160. So I don't know how he's gonna keep this unless he has to fight. Well, in order for him to keep his title, he's got to fight at 160. So if it's for the belt, it's got to be at 160. But my guess, if you're going to let him keep the belt and then just have like a quote-unquote tune-up fight, Jose Benavidez Jr. as a tune-up fight, which I don't think it is. I think Jose could actually win that fight.
Man, I think Jose not be no big Charlo, man.
Yes, he is, bro. Stop the cap, bro.
Jose Benavidez, come on, man.
Bro, dude, you're going to see, bro. He's going to shock the world, bro.
Don't even like hype this up. Like that's a cherry pick, man. I know you like the Benavidez. Like David. You know what I don't like about Jose?
Bro,
Jose a lot of posturing. Like he'd like throw a punch, then he like bump his gloves together and stuff like that. And he's doing a lot of talking. Like he was doing that against Danny Garcia. Like he had like, come on, fight me, and then just put his gloves together. Like, man, no, throw punches. Like, I don't want to see you doing that type of stuff.
So I think just based off the layoff, I think Jose's got a good chance of winning, bro. Bro, dude, Jamal ballooned up, bro. I'm gonna be shocked if he makes 160, bro. Like for real, I don't know why they let him hold up the division for 2.5 years. So well, anyways, they're making that fight happen. Whether if it's a cherry pick or whatnot, I think it's an okay fight, right? And it says from the rumors what I read, it said it's going to be for the WBC title, so I'm assuming it's going to be at 160. But I wouldn't be shocked if it was like at 164 or something like that, at a 10-rounder at 164 or something like that.
Yeah, the only good thing to me is that Charlo was back, in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only good thing. But as far as I can't see this being competitive, man.
Even Charlo not being off mentally off and weight has been off for 2.5 years and coming off the worst performance ever against a guy who's 10 times worse than Jose Benavidez Jr.
But that's different. Like what's come? You talking about was it
Macias Juan
Montiel.
yeah, Macias Montiel. Juan Macias Montiel. And he was rocking Charlo in that fight a few times.
Right, but Whatcom is not powerful like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the styles is different. Like I can see if he was fighting somebody, man, I can't find my pants, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find my pants around here. But anyway, it's just the style. Whatcom's too big for him. I can't see Benavidez having success against, like, to me, the reason why he was so successful with Bud and why he had minimal success against Garcia is they smaller. And so he can like kind of rough them up a little bit. I don't see him being successful against a bigger guy because then he's gonna lose the biggest advantage he typically has when he has success against the fighters that he's been facing. He's not like a skilled dude who's just gonna be like causing him havoc and stuff like that, causing him trouble. Only thing, like you say, is it'd be the layoff. Like if he's a little rusty and that's the only thing. But as far as like who's better, like he's way better than Jose Benavidez.
Well, Jose Benavidez Jr. is about as 5'11", and Charlo's 6 foot.
Yeah, that 5'11" is good against dudes who not used to fighting 5'11" guys. Like Charlo fight against dudes like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm just putting in consideration what his like, you know, coming off mental health and being over bloated for 2.5 years, being 190 pounds for 2.5 years.
What about you, Ty? You think that's gonna be a grudge match?
Who? Say that again. Hello.
I was asking Ty because Ty over there. Ty think that's gonna be a good matchup. He over there looking like he rubbing his hands together like Birdman on that match.
Yeah, now my thing was saying my mic was unmuted or something.
What do you think of the match?
I mean, I would rather Jamal take like an easy fight, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think Benavidez is too much of a name for him coming off a layoff this long. But I mean, I hope he gets a nice bag from it. And I don't be honest, man. I don't know, man. I'm
gonna say this. I think it's a closer fight because of Jamal being off this long, 2.5 years, having to cut weight, coming off, you know, like not the best mental health. So it's like he's coming off like a bunch of disadvantages: mental health, physical health, and rusty from the layoff. 2.5 years, bro. It's like not fighting for 2.5 years makes a big difference. And Jose Benavidez Jr. I think has enough skill to cause problems for anybody that is coming off all those things. So
here's the thing,
and even if Jermall Charlo didn't even come off the layoff, I still think it's a good fight because I think Jose Benavidez Jr. is still at least two levels above Juan Macias Montiel, and you're as good as your last fight. So
yeah. Let me just say this: to cap it off. He's working with Roy Jones. That's not a good move.
I agree.
I mean, far as a trainer. Now I just read that he's been training with Roy Jones in Florida, and to me, that's not a good move.
And he's got change of trainers too, or a slight change of trainers. So it's gonna make a big difference on a fighter. So it's like you got to take 1 or 2 adjustment fights with the trainer. So he's gonna jump straight into a decent contender right off the bat. So I think even if Jermall Charlo was not coming off that layoff, just coming off that Juan Macias Montiel fight, is enough to make the fight more of an even fight. He's coming off a bad fight, bad physical health, bad mental health, and a 2.5-year layoff.
Listen, man. Charlo has struggled with Rolly Romero his last fight, and then had Rolly Romero trainer Bullet training him for this fight. He's still gonna whoop on Jose Benavidez.
Oh my god, dude. Okay. I know you feel some type of way about Jose. Fine.
No, it ain't that. Like versus Jose fought. Like I just don't. Again, it's not like the things that you're saying. It makes sense. I'm looking at the other part of it too, where the style making fight thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I just think that Jose, when I seen him be successful, it's more so the fact that he's fighting a guy he's bigger than, and he has some skills, but the skill level that he has is difficult for the smaller guy. I don't see that transferring against a bigger guy who's used to fighting somebody his size, or he'll be smaller. Like I just don't see that. Like
so okay, but the thing is that, but I see it like this. I understand what you're saying, but it's like Juan Macias Montiel is like 10 times worse than Jose Benavidez in every single way. Worse defense, worse attack, doesn't even know how to stand and throw his punches, and other guys got rid of him so easily. And Jaime Munguia knocked him out in 2 rounds. What's his name knocked him out in 3 rounds. 3 rounds. And then you see Jermall Charlo go the distance with him and actually, was in danger 2 or 3 times in that fight. And he's like, and Juan Macias Montiel only got that opportunity because he knocked out old James Kirkland. And by the way, that was a brutal stoppage. By the way, that I don't know. And the only reason why he got the opportunity was because of that. And then everyone's been begging Jermall Charlo to step up his competition, which he stepped down in competition when he fought Juan Macias Montiel. He's from Derevyanchenko. He never fought anyone better than Derevyanchenko. And actually, I will give Jermall Charlo credit. He looked better against Derevyanchenko, better than everybody else who fought him. Everyone else struggled with him, and then Jermall made it look easy.
Can I give my current counterpoint to what you're saying?
Yeah.
My counterpoint is the same thing that we just talked about. So we coming back full circle.
Yes, sir.
So when we talked about Floyd Mayweather having the struggles with Madonna, dealing with the Miss Jackson situation.
Okay.
Talk about T.O. situation.
I see where you're going with this.
In that fight. Now it seems like he's a little bit more emotionally stable. He may not be. I don't know if he's emotionally stable. But now the point that I would concede is he may not be, because when the last interview that I saw with him, he was a little wacky, and he was asking somebody that they want some psychedelics. So if he's messing around with like little drugs and things like that, then he might be right up. That might be right up Jose Benavidez Avenue in order to be able to beat him. You know what I'm saying? But if he's anywhere, if his antennas are up, if he's in there, like Jermall Charlo, that I've seen him like just maybe 50-60%, I can't see Benavidez beating him. That version of him.
Fair. Actually, that's actually a really fair point, because I mean, even though Floyd was coming off all that crazy stuff, he still beat Maidana. Like, he definitely won the fight 7-5 at least. And so if you're making that point, well, he's coming off all this stuff and he's that much of a better fighter. If you believe that, then I can see where you're coming from for sure. If he's that much better fighter than Jose Benavidez Jr., and even though he's coming off all this stuff, and he would, because he's that much of a better fighter, he would still have the advantage. I can see that. You know what? I understand your point 100%.
Yeah. No, and don't take me for not liking Jose Benavidez, but I do. I like that.
No, I was just messing with you, bro. I was just messing with you. I know you're just making your point, bro. I was just messing with you.
I like both of those guys. I like dudes like that with that machismo, like they stand up. I like that because you know where they stand. It's not like, see, I can't see like some guys. They get in position, and then like the same thing that they calling other guys out for when they on the come up, they start doing the same thing. I can't see David Benavidez if he, let's say for instance, he gets the opportunity to fight Canelo one day. I can't see him doing what, even though Canelo has earned the right to kind of pick and choose, I can't see him doing that. I just think that he's that type of guy who's going to be looking for the best opposition that's available and not trying to duck anybody. You know what I'm saying? And I like those. I see Jermall Charlo as being somebody like that too, where he's always going to be looking for smoke. You know what I'm saying? So
Jermall is definitely like that, bro. I've always loved Jermall for that.
Yeah. So that's why I love those guys, man. And it's a few of those guys that's left in the sport. You know,
I would say David and Jermall are definitely those guys. I would say for sure.
Yeah, they cut from that cloth, man. Yeah, they cut from that cloth. I'm gonna go ahead and get this sweater. Give me 1 second, but I'm gonna head out of here about like 5 minutes, man. So
No problem.
Because I'll be back. Are y'all gonna come back or y'all just?
I think we're coming back. I think we're coming back later.
Yeah, I'm actually watching the zone card now.
Oh shit! Oh shoot!
It's actually on. It's on the undercard.
You guys want to go for a commercial break?
Yeah, we can do that for sure, man. We've been on here 3 hours, exactly 3 hours. So this was a long one.
Well, we've been cooking for. Oh my goodness, bro.
Yeah, I did not expect that for sure, man. 3 hours strong. Yeah, anything you want to say in closing, Will? You going live tomorrow?
Yeah, for sure, man. I wish I can get y'all on. I know y'all ain't gonna be able to do it. Y'all doing like a telethon today and shit. You know? I got a little telethon going, but yeah, tomorrow we going live. Vale texted me. He said that so I don't have to work on Monday. That's the reason why I'm doing a little bit more sipping. So tomorrow might be a sipping episode. So if anybody that decide to watch and listen, it might be some choice words on there because I'm gonna let it all hang out. Talking about the Joyce, the Hutchinson, whatever his name is, and so we're gonna be talking about all that. Then the fights, we're gonna make predictions for the fights that's coming up next week, especially the top 3 fights on that card, and then we got the boxing news, and so we're gonna be talking about that tomorrow as well. But I don't know what time. I prefer to do it early, so I can go ahead and enjoy the rest of my day. I'll be setting up them dates, man. Last week I met this chick at the badass coffee shop that's over there in my neighborhood, and then tomorrow I got a little date tomorrow too. You understand what I'm saying? So hope Vale can go ahead and get on earlier. If not, man, if y'all let me know, we can go ahead and do it. You understand what I'm saying? And then Vale can just pop in a little bit later. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to go ahead and get it moving and grooving and try to mess with some of these chicas out here while I got time. You understand what I'm saying? But that's all I got, man. You know what I mean? It's always a pleasure. It's an honor. G, it's good to chop it up with you, but just understand this though, man. There wasn't ducking no smoke, man.
I know. Eventually he came around. Eventually.
You're a wild boy, man. Well, yeah, what I'm gonna do though, I ain't gonna talk y'all ear off, man. I'm gonna go, and then if y'all still back on, I'll hop back on.
All right, man.
All right,
man.
All right.
Peace out.
All right, be safe, man.
Peace. We'll be back in a few hours. Definitely subscribe to Last Ones at the Bar. Subscribe to End This Corner. We're gonna go ahead and end this one. 31st live coverage. Big Bang Zhang, Joyce. Awesome performance by Zhang. We're gonna close it out. We'll see y'all again real soon. Peace.